'cause you're under pressure, under pressure. You're cooked. Like your shitty ass book. The pressure is real. The pressure is real. The pressure is real. Pressure. You're under the pressure. Drowning in the pressure. You're now under pressure. Pressure's got you by the tongue, and it's over now. You're under pressure. The pressure. Full force, no lecture. 'Cause we're here for pressure.
Hey guys, welcome in Sunday. Oh my gosh, I took a long nap before this, so I kind of like wall. I don't know what. Every time I go to sleep, it's like the men in black visit me and they zap me. And I'm like, wait, what was I doing? What was I feeling? What was I thinking? And then total backtrack. So welcome in. Let me do that first. I didn't even know what to put for obviously my title, description. I was like, just get it scheduled. Just put it on the books. Just put it on the books, Kresha, and put it up there. So yeah, we need to talk because let me thank the Sparky pilot first before I go on my tirade. Thank you for becoming a new member. And thanks for being here, everybody. The Olap, Sketty Nona, Googie, how are you? Two Birds on a Wire, Donna, always, wait, a one-way street. I always think of always. Faye Loves Nature, good to see you. Donnell Allen, how you doing? Oh, y'all, I did not expect that today. Rubber Ramada, how's it doing? And you two bad actors, yeah, that's why we are gathered here today. Okay, and it's not because of Prince, unfortunately. Lindsay, what's up? Let me say Lamisa. Good to see you guys. Thank y'all for being here. I tried fixing the title and everything and all that before I came on, at least on YouTube. But yeah, was not expecting that. Was not expecting anything. And I mean, look, this is not on Colby. Colby has also been, well, how do I say that? Right along with Colby, okay? My family, us, all of us, and I mean, he's my family, okay? I've always said that. It's these unexpected things, and I mean, but out of everybody, I'm glad that it's coming from him, okay? Like, so it's not that big of a blow. But whenever it comes from news, media, podcasters, I mean, just random one-off things, court, it doesn't matter who it comes from. You're not ready for it. You're not ready for it. There's usually no heads up. So it's like, oh, I have to hurry up and swallow this with the rest of the world. And it's all kinds of feelings. It's never just one feeling or, there's a whole plethora of feelings that come along with that. What does she say? What does she have to say? Is she going to lie? Of course she's going to lie. How bad is it going to affect Colby? But does he need this for his healing? Of course he needs this for his healing. Do we need it for our healing? Of course we do. It's just so tug of war, And it's just really a control of a narrative for her. Like it's always been about control, but it seems like it just shifts. But I mean, she was always wanting to be in control of the narrative, and good God, she had it for a hot minute, huh? And I mean, she still doesn't fucking get it. She's slow. Okay. She needs like a check every month or something. She's slow on a slow bus. Not oh, she don't fucking get it. And I've been learning so many other different things too, y'all, that I was like, how the fuck do I even talk about this today? Like, how do I because it's so random. It's random stuff. It's I mean, I went down a fucking rabbit. I'm sorry. I went down a rabbit hole, another one with Lauren's dad. And I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. No. Okay. I didn't, oh my God. I wish I'd have barked down that angle a lot long time ago. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Let me light my cigarette. You should smoke them if you got them too. Thank you, Shelly. I'm not on that screen right there, but thank you. Or I'd pin it. But thank you for that. Hey, oh my God. It went away, so I can't see anymore. But little brands. Okay. Salty Sleuth. Hey. How you doing? Drag I don't know how to say that correctly. HMX Gen Lady or HMS Gen X Lady. La boop. I know you told me this, but I can't lube up the body. Okay, lube up the body. Damn, Krisha. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. So this was today. Okay, of course. A lot of you know, I mean, oh my God. I was like 6,000 views in 30, it was 33 minutes, y'all. That's what it said when I first saw it. When I ran across it, it said 33 minutes. I was like, well, I wouldn't guess any other number. Okay. But of course it was on his channel like this. It was a shock. And now look, the kid did it 7 hours ago. 25,000 of you, right? Of us are like, what the hell? Again? I actually first thought was, oh, okay, well, good. Maybe he's revamping, and you kind of want to share the different kind of cuts you get to do, editing styles, right? It helps. So I thought it was the old one. I thought it was the old conversation he had with his mom or Lori. That also was shocking. And I say that as I'm also like, it's not shocking, Well, I've come to expect nothing from Lori. Nothing. And I mean, that way, your expectations tend to not, do you in. They don't get the best of you because you know better. You know better than to expect that with somebody who's done so much harm. But I'm grateful that he was able, it appears like, like he just got her Lori on the phone and then push live. Okay. And so, I mean, I was like, wait, what's going on? What's going on? And again, I didn't catch it live. I wish I would have. But I mean, to kind of read the comments as it was going along every now and then, I was like, yeah. People are worried and protective, right? Of course. I'm protective too. Can't help it. It just is. First thing that went through my mind was, okay, now Megan's going to try and be relevant again. Trisha's going to try and use that relevancy and then one up it. And then Lauren, like I look at those opportunistic people to totally act like they didn't do Colby wrong too. Okay. Because that's what I've been getting. Hey, Carolina. Hey, bless mama. That's what I've been getting. Like they are kind of trying to portray that they have the blessing of some family members to do what they're doing with the fundraiser. And that's couldn't be further from the truth. They do not have our permission, our consent. We say no. We say you wronged us. And then how dare you continue to pretend and act and twist things by being, showing up on Colby's channel. I don't know about today, but I'm just talking about in the recent past, showing up there, donating $5. Did it come out your pocket, Trisha? Did it not? I mean, did you borrow it? Relevant question. Anyways, to make it look like to others, because that's all that matters. That's all that matters to these people is what it looks like to others, to the people that they can manipulate. So just beware. You've been warned. Okay. Hey, Andy. I know. Yeah. It's I'm trying not to let it bother me, but I'd be lying. I would be lying if I said it didn't, or that I wasn't trying to think of some proactive way. It's kind of changed. Social media over the years has made it to where we no longer show up for protest. We do it virtually now. I mean, some people show up for protest, but that's basically what I'm thinking is a peaceful protest. Okay. I gotta let the opponents know that, or they'll start getting creative. They'll get very creative. And I'm not, no, bitch. No, batch. Hey, Higgins. How you doing? I'm sorry. I know I'm missing people. I wasn't on the screen the whole time, but I'm just proud of Colby. Of course, that extends to Kelsey and their children. Kelsey, to me, has always been like the driving force behind Colby, and I really, I love her for that. She's, oh yeah, Mike King. Angle, just start checking work, checking resumes, okay? Because that's what it is, in my opinion, allegedly. Let me just say that. But yeah, I got a tip from a very, 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 very valid source. And I just need some more to start talking about it. I'm laughing at Alpha Film. I love a good protest, she said. So, hey, JoJo. All right, y'all. So, I mean, how many of you guys were able to watch this already? Are you part of the 23,000 so far in 7 hours? I'm glad. If anybody gets to do it, he does. He gets to tell the story. He gets to. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Because those other bitches, that's all they're doing is just control for the narrative. That's it. That's all. Nothing more, nothing, and the money and whatever it brings them. Okay. And then, even though I watched Dreadful Penny the other day, I think it was, don't get me lying. I think it might have been yesterday, but it could have been Friday. Don't remember. Told you I slept. She went over this, but it's like the way she put it in this little 6-minute video. I was like, whoa, I don't remember any of this shit. And it really, 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 really makes Megan look like a fucking liar. Okay. Straight up. And I'm like, wow. Just fudge here and a fudge there. Here a fudge there, fudge everywhere, fudge. My cigarette keeps going out, so I'm not puffing it. But I don't even know where to start. I don't even know. Like, I don't know how far I want to go with it. I don't know where to even, do I do this first? Do I talk about this first? Can you all even see what I'm doing? Yeah. Okay. Because it leads to this, which you can't see now because I covered it up, which leads to a whole nother leg of SRA names. I mean, look, hold on. Let me double click. Let me get on it. Let me see here. Okay. When it comes here, this is like the bestest friend of allegedly of James Johnson. Oh my gosh, hold on. I'm having a crisis over here. Move. Stop. Oh my God. Okay, whatever. We're doing whatever. Get up and do your time. Being in prison and needed changes. Think again, faith again. I remember the YouTube channel, but I didn't know and I should know better. I know better. So this is my own fault. This is Lauren's dad. And it's like here firsthand what Jameis learned while doing time in prison and why prison reform is imperative. Yeah. Then you have brother that passed away, his company right here. I feel like there's a mess of things to dig into on this end. I say we. I don't understand the lingo of pleaser Deo or whatever the hell they call it. I don't even know how to pronounce it, okay? Pleaser Dow. Kind of wondering if that lawyer changed his name. Isn't that what it is? DAO? Lindsay, Andy, y'all would know. Yeah, that guy. I mean, his company had to dissolve or be exchanged over to somebody. They have the same name, Jameis Jr. and Jameis Sr. Seems like that'd be really easy to kind of muck things up a little bit, huh? I mean, just whenever you can. We already have you so strapped, That's a mess to look into, as well as I believe Mike King, only because I got a tip. I mean, I already felt it and kind of was going there, but ain't nothing like getting a tip to really light a fire under your ass, Yeah. I mean, just anybody, the more the merrier. We need all hands on deck right now. I feel like I feel all types of ways right now. So, let me see. Let me open this. I'm trying to find where. Yeah, that's what got me this. I remember that. Well, as soon as it gets up and goes.
Like a bird of prey, the profile of night, slanted against morning.
What is that?
I turn this way. The stone lets me go.
Why does it sound like it's screwed and chopped or something?
I turn that way. I'm inside the Vietnam Veterans Memorial again, depending on the light to make a difference.
What?
I go down to 58,022 names, half expecting to find my own, and letters like smoke. I touch the name Andrew Johnson. I see the
who's Andrew Johnson? Flush. Who the fuck's Andrew Johnson? Is it? Oh my God! What is going on? I didn't never hear this. Okay.
Pink shimmer on a woman's blouse, but when she walks away, the name's still on the wall. Brushstrokes flash, the red bird's wings cutting across my stare. The sky, a plane in the sky. A white bat's image floats closer to me. Then his pale eyes look through mine. I'm a window. He's lost his right arm inside the stone. In the black mirror, a woman's trying to erase names. No, she's brushing a boy's hair.
Stop it. What the fuck just happened?
So
I rebuke it.
I'm appreciative.
They're relative? I don't know.
Those who have served and continue to serve, even in times of.
I don't even know who this is. Oh, this is Jay Griffith. Jay Griffith. One of those prominent, those names that just run in those circles. Well, y'all know the guy that I've had on here before. Look, I just put this link in the chat. I want my mommy. I want your mommy will work too. I want my mom too. What the fuck just happened? I mean, could you get a creepier voice? I have Speechify. They have all kinds of things. You can. I mean, I did make a clone of Chad Daybell's voice, so he could read his own damn prison letters, right? I ain't trying to read that shit. I ain't trying to taste those words. No, joking. Yes, yes, yes. A lot of fluff, Donna. Like you've seen it. You've seen it. Yeah, Griffith. Yeah. But that's her married name, right? Which, okay, I know I'm going in so many different directions. That's what I'm trying to say, though. I'm going to read real quick or you can follow along with me, the lineage of Trisha and, how Mormon is she, right? I don't think that matters. It just is bloodlines, okay? But Wild Bill Hickman, okay? William Wild Bill Hickman, Adams Hickman, was born on April 16th, 1815 in Boonville, Warren County, Kentucky, to parents Edwin Temple Hickman and Elizabeth Sarah Adams. Over the course of his life, his travels and residences took him across the American frontier, moving through Missouri, Illinois, and Iowa, right, Andy? Oh, shit. Before eventually settling in Utah and later Wyoming. Hickman had a remarkably large and complex family. Genealogical records show he married at least 9 women between 1832 and 1859, including Brennett, that's a different name, Brennett A. Burkhart, Burkhart, Margaret Hetherington, Minerva, Emma Wade, Sarah Elizabeth Luce, I don't know how to say that, Sarah Basford Meacham, Hannah Hoare, oh, poor thing, Mary Lucretia Hoare, oh, damn, 2 whores, just kidding, Martha Diana Case, and Mary Jane Hetherington, damn, 2 sets of sisters, it seems like, huh? With these spouses, he fathered dozens of children. He passed away on August 21st, 1883 in Lander, Fremont County. Sounds like Fremont County, Idaho, but it's Wyoming. The provided records trace a direct line of his descendants down to the present day through one of his sons. This is relevant to Trisha. So we have the first generation, the son, Deseret Narrant Hickman, born on August 4th, 1856 in West Jordan, Utah Territory. Deseret, oh wow, poor thing. Deseret was the son of William Hickman, Wild Bill Hickman, the avenging angel for Brigham Young. Brigham Young's hitman. Okay. William Hickman and his wife, Sarah Basford Meacham. This last name right here, I have found, of course, on the title deeds that were provided by Subtext. So, yeah, I don't remember what the transaction was, but I just know that name. And that name also, one of Ruby's, Frankie's sisters is married to a Meacham, for what it's worth. Deseret married Dorothy Ann Carell in 1876, and together they had multiple children, including Burley Ann, William Deseret, Dorothy Delilah, Sarah Meacham, George Joseph Smith, Jingleheimer Smith, I'm just kidding, Don Franklin, Vivian, and Myrtle. Second generation granddaughter, Vivian Hickman, born to Deseret and Dorothy on October 1, 1892 in Milford, Utah. She married, this name stood out to me, Anderson, okay? But I don't know. I got to trace some stuff. Cameron Anderson Tengen Arrington Sr., that's not a mouthful, and had several children. Then we have the third generation, which is Trisha's dad, John Edward Arrington, born to Vivian and Cameron Sr. on July 1, 1922. John married Mary Florence Payne, a woman from London, England, in a military chapel in Berlin, Germany. On February 21st, 1948, they eventually settled in Salt Lake City, Utah. Then we have fourth generation great-granddaughter. So just 2 great. I've been doing 3 greats, but anyways, 2 greats. Patricia Maria Arrington Griffith, born to John and Mary on December 19th, 1958. In Los Angeles, California, she married Joseph Douglas Griffith in 1979. They divorced, though. Public records indicate she currently resides in, well, that's not right, in Wanship, Utah, and has been associated with businesses including Public Service Broadcasting of Western Jordan Inc. I'm gonna have to look into that, okay? Because didn't notice that last night. Then the fifth generation, of course, is the great grandson, which is her Trisha's son, William Arrington Griffith, born to Patricia and Joseph Griffith in September 96. I graduated that year. By the way, now I feel so old. But so there's that. I need to, I could probably share it like this. Let me not restrict it. And copy the link, done. And I'll share this in the chat. You won't know what it's to because I'm not going to write who it's to or what it's to, but it's the Google Doc. Okay, so yeah, Griffith. You two bad actors? Yep, Griffith. But I mean, that's a marriage through marriage name. But still, right? All righty. Your son served in Colorado and Kansas? Wow. Okay, so okay, let me see how I did this here. Since I obviously went a certain way. Let me duplicate that. And let me try and get myself. I like to show my breadcrumb trail, you know? It helps if I ever need to find my way out of it. Okay. This is another thing I found, which was, it's a bonus episode about the Satanic Panic, looking back on the Satanic Panic ritual abuse scare of the 80s and 90s with Mike King, a cop who investigated ritual crimes in Utah. What? Right. I remember seeing this, but oh shit, I didn't see this. The hell's going on right here? Where's the sound? I need sound. Oh. What is this though? Cool. Yeah, that just got there on its own. The rocks were impressed. This is how they put it. A trend began to emerge in communities across the United States during the 1980s and early 90s. People recovering repressed memories. Okay, did y'all know about the false memory syndrome foundation bullshit scandal? Well, they might want to rewrite some things right here. Anyways, recovering repressed memories during therapy of satanic ritual abuse, including human sacrifice, cannibalism, and other horrifying crimes. Many of these reports made their way to police, who were flummoxed, what a weird word, by the assertion secret Satanists might be operating under their noses. Investigators spent untold hours attempting to verify the terrifying stories. You know what? So much so that they even have like a ritual abuse task force, and they get like so much money, you know, by Utah legislators and government and all that stuff. They get money for that, but yet they like to say that there is no such thing. It's kind of weird. Can't have both. You know how we always talking out of both sides of our mouth. Yeah, so there was a big conspiracy, they say. Critics also question whether overzealous psychologists or social workers might be driving the panic. But really, this kind of lends credence to the accusations against David Hamblin, the psychologist, who's accused by his daughters, who's being sued right now by his daughters, along with others like Randall Lake, like Gordon Bowen, like Rosie Anderson, Hamblin, Stevenson, Anderson. Anyways, I'm just saying, that's such a fucking double standard here. Social workers might be driving the panic, planting the ideas in the minds of their patients. So you're telling me that there were these evil social workers and psychologists who were like, oh, yes, I must convince them. You know, like what? So it's okay for there to be a conspiracy of psychologists and social workers implanting false memories, right? And ideas in others' brains, but it's not at all conceivable for there to be a conspiracy of secret people I don't know if they're fucking Satanists. That's up to them and their Lord. Okay. I'm just saying, by ye fruits, ye shall know. Hello. We're not dumb. Okay. So stop it. This period has come to be known as the Satanic Panic because people like this report right here love to tell the story, but they love to drive home the narrative. Lord knows we love to be in control of the narrative. That it's just hooey. Okay. Hooey. So it says Joyce Yost and the Satanic Panic. Oh man, we're gonna have to revisit this because holy shit. This is crazy. March 28th, I'm just gonna read this one. March 28th, 1988, an anonymous female caller called with some information on Joyce Yost. The lady of this? Why? On her? There was some confusion on the lady's part about when Yost disappeared. What? Okay. The host? Yost the host? Or just the Yost? There was some, obviously I'm confusing it even more. There was some confusion on the lady's part about when Yost disappeared. She felt it was 83 or 84. The caller was very polite and professional and was calling for another person, a woman, who stated that Joyce was murdered and her body was burned. The caller promised to call back within the next 2 weeks. The caller and myself agreed that the caller would be called George. So it was a guy, I guess. Shit. I don't know. I hate not finishing stuff. I do it all the time though. But anyway, so what the fuck? On January 17, 1992, Deseret News Story cited a poll that showed 90% of Utah residents, quote, believe in the existence of satanic or ritualistic abuse of children, even the sacrifice of babies, unquote. This bonus episode of Cold uses archival news recordings to help explain development of that public perception. Alan Hadfield, that's not a good Zion Society. That's Mike King right there. Only his, let me not say that. I don't know if only his investigation can have ritual abuse, but nobody else's. Just saying. Dippity-doo-do. Retired investigator Mike King led the 1991 raid on the fundamentalist group. They're always fundamentalist, but I poked some holes in that. Called the Zion Society, that was involved in ritualistic abuse of children. He later co-authored a report about ritual abuse. Right. In the state of Utah. So when they go, like Mike King, when he goes and he talks about my family's case, and he never gives any credence to the ritual aspects of it, I'm done with him. Okay. Like I was like, but yet you're pushing your book, your propaganda. No. In my opinion. Mike said the Zion Society's abuse of children was ritual abuse. Well, thank you. Even though Shreve's religious teachings did not include Satanism or the occult. Well, neither did Chad's. I mean, that's actually, there's quite a few things, but wow. Wow. Instead, the rituals Shreve employed were a perversion of Christian theology. Well, get the fuck out, right? Same with Chad and Lori. So crazy. Quote, he took seemingly intelligent people who had like-minded beliefs of wanting to just be a little better than anyone else. Sounds like Zalema, sounds like Melanie Gibbs, sounds like David Warwick, sounds like the excuse that they put on all these things. To have more light knowledge. I bet it's further light knowledge. I bet it's the same thing Jason Mao says on the podcast, for further light knowledge, right? That's one of those Mason things. Okay. And so it's like-minded. The next, okay. To have more light knowledge than the next guy and slowly crafted and groomed them to the point that they believe that this, okay, as distasteful as it may be, is my pathway to heaven, unquote, Mike said. That's what Greg said. Okay, quote, ritual abuse is happening, unquote, Mike said. I don't believe ritual abuse means satanic abuse. Well, same. I mean, one and of the same, dude. But not Lori and Chad, right? Just your case. Ritual Abuse Task Force. As the Zion Society Secret society? Sounds like. Case was unfolding. Forces within Utah's government and culture were pushing to legitimize the notion of widespread satanic ritual abuse. In 1990, the Utah governor's office created a special task force to gather information. They also had one created for the church, so just know that, about ritual abuse and educate both the public and professionals on the issue. I don't get nothing but confused when I read all y'all stuff. Y'all talk about it, but then you're like, if it existed. A psychologist named Naomi Mattis, a believer of the recovered memories accounts rising from therapy patients, led the group. Perpetrators maintain prolonged concealment, not only of their acts, but also of their membership in the secret society, which is united in the commission of crimes. That's from the Utah State Task Force on Ritual Abuse. I will be opening that. The task force issued a report in 1992. It described generational, that's the ones I talk about all the time, satanic cults, which were believed to be operating in secret. Quote, some scholars are convinced that such groups have existed for centuries, unquote, that report read. And that, quote, their abusive cult activities may coexist side by side with traditional worship. Well, I'll be damned. That really does sound like David Hamblin's daughters, who say that they are like this secretive group that go by the group. That's what you call them. They call themselves the group, allegedly. They also are known, we call them the LDS Church of Satan, because there's the Church of Satan, and they get butthurt bad if you say it's their Church of Satan. So I don't know if they're connected. I really don't give a shit. But it's these people who go to church, they blend in, and that's what they do, allegedly. That's what's been reported. That is, members may publicly practice an established, respected religion. They coexist, okay? Their abusive cult activities may coexist side by side with traditional worship. That is, members may publicly practice an established, respected religion. The members are often well known and respected within their larger communities. It's like legit wolves in sheep clothing vibes. Naomi Mattis explained away the lack of corroborative evidence supporting this claim when interviewed by KSL TV about the report in May of 1992. Quote, very difficult to prove any cases in a court of law which involve ritual abuse simply because the people who are involved with it have real expertise at hiding their tracks. I was not ready for that either. Trigger warning. Utah Ritual Abuse Crime Unit. The task force recommended Utah's legislator invest money to further investigate reports of secret satanic cults. Did y'all know that whenever David Levitt, Utah County, or he used to be the prosecuting attorney in Utah, or was it Utah or Davis County? I think I got that mixed up last time too. So I'm trying to think. Anyways, but he was trying to dismantle the task force. And I mean, he's accused, him and his wife are accused along with 142 other people of alleged ritual abuse against the Hamblin daughters and others. So this says the lawmakers set aside $250,000 to fund the creation of a ritual abuse crime unit with the Utah Attorney General's office. The Attorney General invited Mike King, that's so interesting, to join due to his experience investigating cult activity in the Zion Society case. That needs to be checked, because I don't think one came before the other. There wasn't, anyway. Okay, I'll have to talk to Andy on how to go about talking about this. I don't know what I can say and what I can't say. Due to his experience investigating cult activity in the Zion Society case. Okay, so, quote, it was way outside of normal police work to say we're going to pursue Satan, Mike said. We were actually given almost 300 cases, that's a lot of cases, of ritual sexual abuse where it was determined that children were sexually abused and Satanism was involved, either in the controlling aspects or in rituals or in other ways. Can we just have y'all's definition so that we can, nail that down? There's kids being hurt out here. And then I'm trying to get that off the screen. It says Mike King described responding to reports across Utah involving claims involving claims pets or livestock had been killed in satanic rituals. Closer examination revealed the animals had died from natural causes or depredation by coyotes or other predators. Okie doke. My thing is, you can do it in the name of whatever, okay, of jellyfish. You can do it in the name of, because you're worshiping your foot. I don't really give a shit. Right, Lori? We don't really give a shit about what you did it for or who you did it for, and yet you're still defending it, whatever it is. It's just not a good fruit. It's by ye fruit ye shall know. We know the evidence shows it's not good. I don't care who the fuck you're worshiping, but this ain't good. So can we drop it? Can we drop the who it's to, the deity? Because that shit has been used for fucking ever. In plain sight. Mike and his partner, another experienced investigator named Matt Jacobson, spent the next 2 years attempting to track down evidence to support the claims made in those cases. Quote, we were only able to truly get confessions where someone had used Satanism or satanic beliefs or doctrine as part of their control mechanism in about 3 or 4, Mike said. This goes back to a report that brought me even into this, okay, which was done by Lynn K. Packer. I went to his YouTube channel, and it was his op-ed number 23. I'll never forget it because I was like, what? Okay. But what brought me there was I was already looking into Tim Ballard, Operation Underground Railroad, and Lynn Packer does an amazing job laying this out. The allegations, the misdeeds, alleged misdeeds from against Tim Ballard. Or by Tim Ballard. Let me catch my breath. I'm getting a little excited. Yes. So, yeah, let me go check in. Yeah, everybody okay? We're doing good? I know. I don't know. I just know that we needed to start talking about whatever all these things are. I didn't read this, so this is all new to me. Sorry for dragging y'all along, but that's kind of how we roll. I'm glad you could be here. And so it says ritual crime in the state of Utah. Mike and his partners summarized their findings in a 1995 report called, I'll have to open that, Ritual Crime in the State of Utah. Their report tossed cold water on the concept of generational satanic cults. Allegations of organized Satanists, even groups of Satanists who have permeated every level of government, and religion were unsubstantiated, the report read. I don't know if they're looking at the same people that I look at or what. Are they just looking at them surface level? I don't understand. Mike did conclude, though, it's possible and even likely that there were isolated instances. Of course, it happened in a fucking vacuum of child sex abusers using satanic or occult imagery to scare victims into silence. Does it matter what they're using? Like, who gives a shit? Worry about that when you're telling a story or writing a book or coming up, with prosecution. A way to, the whatever, the theory of the case. We wanted to give a true assessment that after looking at this many cases, there's only a small subset that were even close to being possible, and none of those would support that some mystic being was showing up, only that they were using Satanism as a guise to have power over the children, Mike said. I just really don't care for this guy. I mean, right now, what I need is somebody to stand away from the pack and just not fucking lie. Okay? That would just probably make me faint right now. If somebody would surprise me by telling the truth, by being truthful and not so political. So this is really what I read. It's like a transcript. Cold season 2, bonus 1, Satanic Panic full episode transcript. I was like, well, son of a bitch. And I mean, Mike King, when I laid out this with the county attorney, I remember Mr. Richards' first comment was, if this is true, we have to move quickly because children are being injured. And so the dictate from him was to drop everything, assemble a team that I needed to be successful, and day and night investigate. And we were putting in 18 to 20-hour days for a month just because we were so terrified that if it was true, children were being R-worded and SA'd daily. So, okay. Dave Colley says this, Mike conducted several follow-up interviews with the informant. She provided detailed information about the inner workings of the Zion Society and also described how she'd fallen into the orbit of its leader, a self-proclaimed prophet named Arvin Shreve. This sounds like Dr. Christine, Lauren's friend, too. Okay. Mike King says the very first words out of her mouth were, I joined this group to get away from a failing marriage. Yeah, sounds like Melanie did. And I'd never planned on joining a cult. Once she got inside and realized that they were teaching polygamous practices, which she didn't believe in, but frankly was saying, you know, if I've got to live that way to have a safe place to live and a roof over my head, maybe I can do that. But as the doctrine perverted, she then got word and started witnessing that it wasn't only women who were having relationships with the leader of the group, Arvin Shreve, but that he was then dictating that they should have relationships with each other, a same-sex relationship, all in what he believed was his God's approval. And then it continued to pervert. As always, it seems these sexual predations do. And it soon became, now the children need to be involved. That's not how that works. Sorry. Maybe that's how it worked for her, but that's not how generationalists work. And then she became involved in the instruction of how to prepare these children to have relationships with Arvin or the adult women and men in the group. Now, were they recording it? Because that's probably what was happening. Okay. They got to make money. And they like to just want talk about the dark web, right? Holy shit. Okay. So anyways, oh yeah, this part, this is the one part I read. Like, you know, I just kind of jumped around. But Mike King said, knowing that Shreve was a Latter-day Saint in the early days of his life, he'd been excommunicated almost 30 years before his arrest. And I'm like, I need to do the math on that, because did they excommunicate him as a kid? How old was he? Was he an old man? You know, like there's always some kind of workaround, in my opinion, to just distance it from the church. That's just my opinion. Okay. All right. So he was taking what he had learned as a youth. Well, what the fuck what was he taught when he was a youth? He was taking what he had learned as a youth, and again, in my opinion, corrupting that and turning it into something else. Well, I mean, bada bing, bada boom, right? That explains it. No, that's like saying, I was doing this or that, and then I went over there and did that or this. You know, you're not saying anything. You're just saying you did this and that. You're not being specific. It's very vague. And so that's a term he picked up and designed. Scripture study. Okay. Let me see. I didn't see this. Sorry, I jumped. Okay. Should have just went down in order. Dave Colley said Shreve didn't outwardly appear like a suave, charismatic cult leader. Neither did Chud. He was short, double-chinned, and had receding hair that was gray at the temples. He wore thick glasses, but he could talk the talk when it came to the language of Utah's predominant religious culture. Arvin had grown up as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, a faith that back then embraced the nickname the Mormons. But Arvin had been kicked out of the church for publicly advocating his personal beliefs favoring polygamy. It was then he'd taken his philosophy underground. He held, would be great. He held scripture study meetings with friends and neighbors, perfecting his pitch that he had received personal revelations about a pathway to exaltation. Wasn't there like a website even named that? Pathway? Maybe it was to heaven. That's how the Zion Society was born. Kind of like the Church of the Firstborn, right? Except it's bullshit. Okay, then skip that part. Okay, Arvin exerted extreme control over the lives of his flock. The women all had to wear dresses and heels. The men needed to keep their suburban yards meticulously landscaped. All of Arvin's edicts tied back to his own personal gratification. Mike says, he took seemingly intelligent people who had, we already read this, who had, like, I think, like-minded beliefs of wanting to just be a little better than anyone else, to have more light and knowledge, yeah, there it is, than the next guy, and slowly crafted and groomed them to the point that they believed that this, okay, as distasteful as it might be, is my pathway to heaven. There's that phrase, pathway to heaven. I just told y'all. Didn't even realize it. Pathway. It was something that Hector Sosa allegedly had set up that they shut down as Chad and Lori were being found out. I guess I better do it. Dave Colley says Mike's informant explains Zion Society members who were said to number more than 100 mostly live together in a single subdivision. And then Larry Lewis, August 2nd, 1991, says neighbors describe the people on the street as a tight-knit group. Some call them polygamous, and an accusation they deny. Anyways, but this is how they work. Mike King, we started looking at the neighborhood as a group. Exactly. That's what Goel's been talking about. And there were up to 14 homes in this neighborhood that were all working together. They were interconnected by alarm systems. They were stockpiling semi-automatic weapons and food storage and medical supplies. The thing that becomes so troubling to us is that 2 of the homes we identified as you enter the neighborhood were security residents. And their responsibility was to watch 24 hours a day any traffic, foot, or vehicle that came in through this narrow pipeway into the neighborhood. And if they saw something, they would then notify leadership. We had that information. We had information from our informant that the members were being trained in anti-sniper and how to use weapons, and that one day we're going to have to defend our space. And so as we started to put this doomsday belief system and the reality of what had been revealed by this informant, we realized that we had to get in there and serve search warrants. And then here you go. Boom. Children and corn videotape. There it is. Yep. Okay. Yep. $50,000 worth of corn. Okay. Never how you put a dollar amount to it. Unless you're in the business. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, individual had been purchasing Rex. I'll just say Rex from children in the group, and that the adult leaders in the group were in effect prostituting the children out to people who were not cult members. Oh, that sounds just like the Hamlin daughters. Crazy. We're gonna have to come back to this, guy. I didn't mean to spend all this time on it, y'all. But I'm so interested. Are y'all like, what the hell is going on here? What's going on here? Oh yeah, let me give you the link to that. And anybody who wants to just go and check it out. And that way, if you have any ideas or if it clicks anything for you that, or if you find anything that's similar to Lori and Chad's situation, what was going on with them, please bring that forward. If you debunk some things with Mike King, also bring that forward, please. I appreciate it. I mainly just, it pisses me off really the most that these people it's like a network of people. I don't know who's all involved and or not. I don't know if they know they're involved or not. Like I don't know if it's like a concerted, like Andy says, like a cabal, like I'm not saying it's organized or I don't know what it is. Still, I just know there just seems to be a clique of people who like to just kind of whitewash it. They like to go there. They like to exploit that aspect of the case of my family stories, of these other family stories, but they don't want to commit. and like, I think it's because if they did, then they would have to answer for some things as far as, I don't know, Gateshead. I don't know if it would. I mean, isn't it all? The only thing I've found so far that, I mean, even goes there is John Mappin. You know, I haven't really looked at that, but I do read and listen to cases from over there too. Because I mean, it happens everywhere, but yet it don't happen here, right? It don't, nothing to see here, nothing. And I'm just tired of the lies. And it, to me, it like it diminishes the reality of Tylie and JJ for sure. Of their end of their lives, you know, like to me that discounts it. It smites them. It smacks them in the face. It's like, oh no. And it's just words. It's just us talking about it, us believing. Well, all we have to do is believe it or not believe it. And it's like, wow, that's not kind of a privileged position to be in. They don't get a choice. So I mean, I say believe in it just for children's sake, you know? Just believe the children are being hurt. Believe in the evidence, you know? Yeah. Hey, Calissa, how are you doing? The whistleblower in a, oh my gosh, right? This is where I'm thinking. I'm just wondering the timing of the whistleblower in Australia and Mike King on 60 Minutes Australia. I haven't seen that, but I know that I've been tracking like Esri, I guess is the name of his company, ESRI, and it's called Bent Ear Solutions. Whatever the fuck that means. But it's like emergency surveillance. Not, I don't know if it's surveillance, but let me not misspeak. Hey, Llama Pajama. Where is Bog or he is? Oh, satanic dudes seem to actually be very respectful and open to chatting about all kinds of stuff. Well, I know that he hangs around a lot with nonsense. That's where I met him. So yeah, I love people that will at least, you know, just kind of, instead of fighting or, you know, over if it exists or don't exist, let's start throwing up things that could actually be relevant, or, you know what I mean? Like can maybe spark conversation in that direction. Yeah. I like that too. Hey, Beach Bum. Oh no, that's not Beach Bum. That's just it. They're everywhere, hiding in plain sight. I would like to know what the government here and in the UK is doing about it. It's a worldwide problem. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good to see you. Good to see you, Carolina. Sorry, I started looking. Hey, Mitzi. Columbus, Georgia. All right. Yeah. Just got back from a long day of travel. Happy to be here. Are you loving your new house, Llama Pajama? I hope so. You deserve it, you know? Okay, so moving on. I don't have a rhyme or reason here, so I'm just kind of dragging y'all along. But, you know, so just with Jameis, and we're going to talk about the Colby's interview for sure. I just am kind of putting it off. I'm lighting my cigarette again. Smoke them if you got them. And lip gloss. But do you see the name here? Thomas McConkie. And another thing, and I'm going to have to do a call in one of my, not sources, but one of my people, you know, like somebody I've had on actually. Let me pull it up so you'll know who I'm talking about. Okay, let me get the other one to you. Right here. All right, I had to pull those up. Hold on.
So the church has really worked itself in a.
This guy right here, Justin Riggs. I've had him on to talk about the Bountiful, the alleged, you know, child abuse ring in Bountiful, which Lauren enlightened me that she was in the same ward, but she knew Dick and Brenda Miles, and I'm like, oh my god. But this is Justin right here. And I mean, so this ran into what I believe is his family. Hold on. Okay. Share this one. So I had him on.
He was a child himself. We now know of 26 children he abused. Several of these we have spoken with. April and I met with 3 general authorities to discuss her abuse by her father, Bill, and others. April's father was subsequently disfellowshipped by his bishop.
So was Chad. Chad was disfellowshipped.
Bill remained invulnerable to church discipline. April and I together wrote paper dolls describing our personal experiences of abuse. So a few things from this. So, we established that Bill Carstensen was abusing as a child in Mount Olympus. And Mount Olympus is where a lot of church leaders lived, including M. Russell Ballard for a while.
This is interesting.
And God. So the
Greek God. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it goes with the universities and the Greek mythology, the Greek letters, the sororities, the fraternities, the fraternal orders, the patriarchy in Jolene's world, right?
The high school in this area was Skyline High School. And we know that Bill Carstensen was abusing kids up through high school there. And we have reason to believe from the Paper Dolls book that other church leaders knew about this abuse and chose to do nothing about it. One of the really sad things about this is that Bill was not abusing alone. He was actually abusing in a sort of group with David Fuller and Brian David Mitchell. And some people...
Brian David Mitchell, Bing Bong, right? That's Elizabeth Smart's kidnapper and abuse, that whole situation.
May know that name, Brian David Mitchell, because he's the one that kidnapped Elizabeth Smart later on. And David Fuller.
Remember, Lauren was like, oh my God, I remember that day. She had just got her mission to go serve in Cleveland, Ohio. I think it was Cleveland.
Fuller actually ended up murdering a little girl by the name of Casey Woody.
I still haven't looked into that. Casey Woody. Been wanting to.
And so there was this group of young men and adults in Mount Olympus that were abusing. And we have, reason to believe that church leadership knew and did nothing at that time, which makes this story really tragic, because after Bill goes on his mission and comes back, what we're going to see is that he ends up being married twice and abusing children in these families and actually getting a diagnosis as a pedophile. So.
Right. So that's who Justin Riggs is. And from what I'm aware of, he's related somewhat to the McConkeys. I mean, through the Worthland family name. Okay. So this is what's his name? Shit, I just forgot it. Just like that. Thomas McConkey. Think about McConkey Law Firm. Think about Bruce R. McConkey. Okay, but this guy, Introduction to the Course. Okay, so in this sample segment from the course titled Expect Dramatic Results, Thomas shares a profoundly hopeful message: enduring to the end should not supplant the real possibility of dramatic spiritual transformation here and now. And I mean, I'm saying all this because I know I didn't really show you guys how I got there, which I need to do. I need to show you how I got to this from Lauren's dad. And it was through, hold on, let me close the windows I'm not using. It was from this site. Hold on, I'm just trying to remember. Backstory. Jay Griffith facilitate. So Jay Griffith, that same guy that we landed on his YouTube, this guy, okay, facilitates and manages Think Again and Faith Again, organizing, arranging presenters and venues, sending notification emails, and creating and maintaining the websites. Below in his own words are how these communities came to be in Jay's best, albeit imperfect recollection. In early 2009, I was introduced to Mitchell Spence. So, I mean, you can click all these things, right? I guess I'll read that. Due to similar callings, he and I had in separate stakes in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Mitchell and I became friends, and he invited me to attend a discussion group that he and his wife, Tiffany Ivins, hosted called Think Again. Tiffany had helped start a similar discussion group while at graduate school back east. At the time, Think Again was being managed by Carrie Hewlett. In late spring of 2013, Allison Pond, who was facilitating Think Again, asked if I would take over due to a promotion at Deseret News. At the time, Think Again was being hosted by Mark and Dawn Elizabeth England. Mark being the son of the still remarkable Latter-day Saint teacher, activist, and writer Eugene England. I've never heard of that person. In June of that year, I arranged for a Think Again discussion on navigating Mormon history and faith crisis. It was a topic that I was attracted to for personal reasons, as well as an increasing awareness of how many I saw who were struggling to stay engaged in the church. I asked two friends of mine to lead the discussion, Jim McConkie, nephew of Bruce R. McConkie, and Andrea Maxfield, longtime personal assistant to then assistant church historian Richard E. Turley Jr. Okay, I've heard that name. It was a remarkable evening. Most remarkable, though, was how many came, about 80, a much larger attendance than a typical Think Again of 20 or less. Afterward, Elizabeth England suggested that it would be good to host separate monthly group to explore challenging topics related to the Mormon faith. She said that she and Mark had talked about starting a Mormon faith discussion group. I agreed, but initially didn't want to facilitate both groups. After failing to get anyone to manage it, I took it on and turned to the well-known and appreciated podcaster Dan Wotherspoon, I don't know how to say that, for presenter suggestions and connecting with them. I still don't understand how we got here. Both groups have become a passion, and I've grown to love and appreciate so many of the people who I've had the privilege of traveling this journey of curiosity with. I feel fortunate to meet and bring diverse and similar people together in a physical and virtual space to enjoy enriching conversations about challenging concepts. Think Again and Faith Again are part of my continuing education and my spiritual, social, and intellectual growth, and part of my contribution in trying to create a healthy community. At the end of 2017, I combined the separate websites of Think Again and Faith Again into one and gave them an identity. This made sense not only for management purposes, but because historically the secular and the spiritual religious have not always played well together. I hope by sitting in the same space while exploring our questions that we will find connecting threads of thought, trust, and respect for each other and those who see things differently than us. Beginning in 2019, I had each group meet every other month rather than monthly. This still provided an interesting conversation once a month, split between the religious and the secular, while giving members more time to focus and prepare for each topic. Presenters come from both within the group and from without. If you would like to present on a topic or know someone who would be good for us to engage with, then please contact Jay at thinkagainfaithagain@gmail.com. Okay, going back to I don't know. I just was kind of digging around. Still don't know what to make of it. I need to look. This right here, living room conversations, reminds me of what Zalema was into. Loving room is what it was called, though. Remember, she was a cuddle therapist. It's an event where people come together in a person or online to discuss an issue using a carefully crafted conversation guide that fosters connection and understanding. Best of all, it's really easy to use. I mean, yeah, she packaged herself, Zalema did, as a life coach. So, right, Megan? You know, you're going to be a cuddle therapist too? There's no harm in that, right? No. Anyway, so they have Village Square living room conversations as well as essential partners. Okay. Well said. Okay. Anyways, consider These are just some blogs. My daily evolving prayer. Cracks let the life cracks let the life in. A beautiful example of peacemaking, which is an interesting word because peacemakers is a thing with these people. That's a role. Resurrecting ritual. I was like, well, I haven't even read it, so a way forward. Trying to find my way. Things that move me that might move you. I can't unsee, right? Taking the parable of the Good Samaritan seriously. Bending light towards kindness. Charlie Kirk. Imagine. Faith, journey. What Earth Care looks like through the eyes of Shoshone Chief, which has to do with, I remember the Shoshone, I don't remember how it plays into Wild Bill Hickman's story, but it does. Applying the doctrine of heavenly parents, how a prayer helped a retiring man help impoverished women, eating manna from Africa to Mill Creek, learning to live by faith, Emmanuel, right? Isn't that what David Bryan Mitchell went by? Gratitude for LGBTQ friends and family, how Marion D. Hanks sought to be. Anyways, so I don't really remember how I just know that the site is or was included. What? Okay, hold on. Getting kind of lost in the sauce here. I just know that it brought me here. And it's, that's an interview with Lauren's dad about get up, do your time, being in prison. And
there are enlightened old souls there.
Oh, shit.
And there are people on the way to that, far more than I was as a Mormon guy. And it's something I try to think of corollary. Some ways I think maybe being in combat or in the middle of war or being a refugee, but people rise to the occasion.
Did he just get aggravated?
People rise to the occasion. Ways I think maybe being in combat or in the middle of war or being a refugee, but people rise to the occasion. I'll have to look at my notes occasionally, but I'd like to kind of, to tell you just a little bit about the experience, give you a flavor, and I think it'll spark some concerns. And I would like to talk about some reforms I want, but this collective experience in prison produces something. Viktor Frankl in his Search for Meaning, or Alexander Solzhenitsyn in Gulag Archipelago, or Boethius in Consolation of Philosophy, or on and on.
I was a brownie.
You discover things about yourself and about your fellow human beings that you would never learn otherwise. And I will kind of start with just primarily my just prison experience and talk to you about just what's how that emerges. When I first arrived in. I was committed to the Utah State Prison. I was standing in a suit for a judge and said, no, I want to commit you to prison. And this was many years after my charges. And you go into a small holding cell. You get another cellmate. They watch you for about a month and a half. And you're let out for an hour every 24 hours. And then once you're in prison, all of a sudden you meet people you would never met before. I think of a range of people that I met.
It's called diversity.
I got out at 5:30 in the morning.
It's called diversity, and they're not used to it, in my opinion. Probably not even in prison, but probably get more of it there.
Silent. There was only one other person out. It was a young Tongan kid, and I learned that he had just turned 18. He'd been transferred, and he had killed someone when he was 14. And I remember reading in the paper that there was a legal proceeding to sort of get him into a trial or how. And I walked there, and he asked me how I was doing, what did I need, and he got me some shampoo, I remember, and just a quiet act of kindness.
Okay.
I remember when I first got out of prison. I remember the first week I was with someone who was, I thought, a hardened criminal. And I should say, I was in the regular prison population. There is a kind of an open campus for people that are older, or people that are taking classes, or are passive, or been there for good behavior. For 4.5 years, I was never there. I was in Ochre 4. In the last about 6 months, I was transferred. And
What did you say?
In the last about 6 months, for 4.5 years, I was never
What's an ochre for?
there. I was in Ochre 4. In the last about 6 months, I was transferred. And when like, for example, my first experience, the second day I was with this particular inmate, I was offered cocaine and hooch, which is grapefruit wine. And just really interesting. 2 doors down.
I bet you this is, I mean, if you think about it, it reminds me of what we heard kind of from Ruby Frankie, Jody Hildebrandt, and even Lori, where they think that now once they go to prison for the crimes that they commit, because God told them so, I guess, I don't know, that it's like their mission changes. And so they're there, the God put them there, right? It's the devil's fault, and God put them there. And so they're there to save people. Again, that's what they're taught from the time they come out. I'm telling you, they have the one true church, the one true gospel. And how else can you get into the Church of Jesus Christ? How else can you get into the one true gospel and the one true church? You have to go through a missionary and be baptized into the church, become a member, right? So they save souls. So, I mean, I always say a savior complex, but I mean, that's more of a cultural church thing, mindset.
Was a serial killer, Tom Knopfsinger. And I remember I was afraid to kind of even ask him over the years what he thought about his crime, but he became my friend in a way I couldn't see. And when you go to use telephones, often, depending on what gang is there, if you're not affiliated, you don't get a slot on the phone, or you have to wait till it's your time, and you don't want to get the phone if somebody's reserved it. And I remember I was trying to read the note and came all the way across and said, leaned down to Jameis. It says this, this and this, just to make sure I was okay and I would know. Another time saying I was trying to read something, trying to read a scale at the gym, and he just, walked. When I was waking up, he said, okay, get on the scale. I will read this to you, but step off and back on. It's a minor sort of act of kindness. That was unexpected.
I don't know.
Speaking of people you don't know, I had another friend, Knowledge, a black man, and he will be there for life unless he can get out of his case. He's from inner city, Philadelphia, and he's there for a murder. I am convinced that he's wrong, and I think that his body was close to taking his case up. We worked on his case, but also he was funny and kind to me. He was a tough guy. And so totally couldn't be more different than me. But he taught me how to walk. He said, you're not walking right. And I remember we were going to start a business. We were going to
another business.
Move to Jamaica when he got out. And we're going to start a moped rental business with topless women, riding. I mean, just crazy, but he was my friend. And I miss him. And I wonder how he's going to do. And while I was there, I had this legal education, but you work on
for sure
on your case and others' cases, and that's maybe an interesting window into this and some of the prison reform that's necessary. When I was first there,
right? Same, I get it.
I met a friend, Ramon Somoza, and I think he may be here tuned in. Ramon was a young man.
He can get some from his son-in-law, John. He's got plenty of those hoodies, right? A turtleneck ain't doing it, dude.
And I don't think he'll mind.
It's reminding me of that Seinfeld episode about the brawls, the man brawls. I forget the name. A bro's ear or something like that. I don't remember.
I'm telling you a little bit about his case, but this is a guy who was born in El Salvador, raised in poor part of LA. He won a scholarship to USC and is very bright. He moved here and was building a real estate business, and he was compelled to fire one of his security guys who was selling drugs in his place, and they met, and he was attacked, and he had a concealed weapon permit. They struggled, and he shot.
Y'all stay tuned, because I was kind of catching something from another case, another high profile case, the Koberger case, which, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of it. Okay. But I'm like, oh shit. It's got a shared FBI agent. I'm just like, oh shit. Anyways, I don't even know how to explain it, because I don't even know how to put words to it. But we're gonna go over that too soon.
And
I'm not gonna do too much of this. I'm trying to remember how I got from there to there, but I just know that it led that, like, James Johnson, the Think Again, Faith Again site led me to that Zoom link, that we're watching right now. And then that's the, oh shit.
Much more to the story, but
oh damn, I did not. And I mean, this was August 31st, 2023. Hear firsthand what Jameis learned while doing time in prison and why prison reform is imperative. Notes, bios, and resources to read, listen to, or watch regarding the topic can be found at Think Again, Faith Again. This is an open group. Feel free to join any conversation. Okay, whatever. I like the Wild West and Intervisions. No accountability, just like his daughter. And you may want to think again on whether you believe anything that comes out of this guy's mouth. The Johnson family are crooks, according to them, who attack vulnerable people. There are tons of channels now exposing this family. All right. Thank y'all for being honest there, in my opinion. Look at his lips. Anyways, yes, I don't want to spend too much more time on this until I have it more together, at least for sure. And it seems like I did. I just don't remember the vines that I swung from, to get me from point A to point B to point C. So what I do want to share is, this is okay. And I know, look, not many people, I hear people, right? I don't know this person, but I remember whenever this stuff happened with Lauren, this person was like, oh, I need to have security at CrimeCon. And I was like, oh my God, no, you got it all wrong. So I don't know how credible this person is, but I'm listening to the report that was being read. Nick Balance, he testified in every one of the cases for Lori and Chad, even in Arizona. Met him. Good looking guy. But let me just, this is, it just caught my ear and hurt it. It hurt my ear.
We all knew it. Nick Balance and the FBI exposed by Cyray's expert report. I went over the first 23 pages of the report.
Okay, hold on.
Well, 22 pages of the report. At the end of my Tyler Robinson preliminary hearing coverage this morning. So I will clip that last portion of it. I think it's like 45 minutes where I talk about this. And so to save my voice, I'm going to start here on chapter on page 23. But I will cut that and I'll make it to have its own place in history.
Really?
But
okay, good.
Yeah, guys, welcome back.
Okay. Oh shit.
I mean, the government is just getting blown left and right.
Like, I don't know who Cyray. I've heard these names, but I'm just like, what the fuck? Okay. Oh, I already did that. I already showed. God damn it, Krisha. Dumb. So I typed in balance because that's usually how they spell it, but it's usually spelled with 2 L's. So let me jump to here. Look at all the references to Nick Balance in this report. Okay, I'm still scrolling. Scrolling. Oh my gosh, do I have to scroll all the way back? Okay, good. Let me jump to here.
Records that resulted in erred.
It's the FBI cast draft report.
That's what I mean by collude. Like they colluded against him. So here, the FBI cast draft report is exculpatory evidence to Mr. Colby as it represents a flawed review of the AT&T records that resulted in erred conclusions that plagued probable cause statements. It clearly shows the misrepresentation of AT&T data by Special Agent Balance.
I mean, wasn't Nick Balance also correlated or connected to or whatever Delphi? Or am I tripping? Was it just Daybell and Idaho, Koberger, or was it all three? I don't remember. Truth and transparency. I did put the link. I will, Denise. Thank you. Scrolling. Rawhide. All right. Okay. Let me see. If anybody knows, let me know. Delphi.
Early in the investigation, given Agent Balance expertise in this field, it is unbelievable he would not have realized the errors being made. This, of course, is even more concerning after many of the misrepresentations on this slide made it into the final report after a peer review by an equally qualified expert in this field, Special Agent Kennedy. It is my opinion that this level of misrepresentation is not oversight or mistake. Section 5 is the FBI final report. The FBI final cast report is plagued with errors and tainted with omissions.
Wow.
And that's what a Franks is all about, all the omissions. The resulting peer review of the work product is clearly a rubber stamp.
Wow.
Of approval with no real analysis or fact finding taking place. There are repeated errors identified below that are not supported by the AT&T CDRs rather. A basic competence peer review should have caught these errors. Further concerning is the lack of documentation in the work product. There are significant findings within Mr. Colby's AT&T call detail records that are undoubtedly exculpatory in nature. Despite this, there are no attempts to identify the exculpatory value of the records. I have found no reports contained within discovery where law enforcement even attempted to document the clearly exculpatory evidence contained within the AT&T CDRs.
So, I mean, I'm just trying to show you different timestamps where this report, this person, Ray expert report, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, hold on.
If Special Agent Balance mapped all of the cell phone records, he would.
Remember how Lauren got access to pings? Remember that?
Was provided,
allegedly,
analyzed them, and then created this report as a result. The complete mapping has never been disclosed. There is no attempt to provide any real description of his methods. Without knowing the methodology he employed and reviewing the raw mapping files he used to reach those conclusions presented in his report, it is nearly impossible to review his work. Dude, do you remember Hitler making excuses and saying, oh, because of the way Mr. Ray doesn't blah, blah, blah? It's like, what are you talking about? He doesn't have any opinions. He didn't do anything. There's nothing here. The maps used in Special Agent Balance's report is actually a mapping software called Maptler from OpenStreetMap.
Tyler.
This is a company completely unrelated to Google. It is unclear why Special Agent Balance chose to qualify his mapping as a Google-based mapping program. This is a data conversion rather, that Special Agent Balance performed in his work product that he does not address. This is further complicated by statements made on slide 7, quote unquote. Special Agent Balance does some cross-referencing using 2 different data sets to convert the original cell site or cell sector data. To be clear, to map these records in the fashion Special Agent Nick Balance did in this report, the AT&T tower list is an absolute requirement. The original AT&T CDRs will not have the cell site / cell sector information that Special Agent Nick Balance references throughout his report. For Special Agent Balance then uses the AT&T tower list to cross-reference the sector information to a sector ID of 15. He then combines the cell site information with the sector ID of 15 to create the cell site, cell sector identified of whatever this is right here. Special Agent Balance's work here cannot be verified with only the AT&T CDRs. And this is the one that I was talking about that Nick Balance needed to have off of it. That's why they needed to say that it shut down at this time. Given the antenna that was utilized faces northwest away from Moscow, this cell site / cell sector is extremely important to any analysis of Mr. Kohlberger's device on November 13th. Special Agent Balance chose to leave this connection out of his report and has left it out of this visualization. Mr. Kohlberger's phone regularly connects to this cell site, cell sector, and it should be represented here to help a lay person like you, me, the jury, understand the general coverage areas. Slide 13. This slide,
I'm going on.
there are 50 connections.
Remember Melanie Boudreau, Walmart? It reminds me of that. I'm just, ooh. So things like this. Let's see. Let me jump down to. Let me see.
Investigation and the importance of the data at this time and the connection of all these cars that you want to say is, Brian. Special Agent Balance eliminated nearly 100 slides from his draft report to his final report, and this is one of the few that remained. It did because of its importance in this investigation. This is not only a misreporting of time when the phone disconnected from the network, but a concealment of critical connections the mobile device makes between 247 and 254. And that's what I was. Special Agent Balance and Special Agent Kennedy spent several days driving around Moscow and Pullman, as well as areas to the south, of collecting raw data to help identify cell coverage. Despite the amount of effort put into this, there is no mapping or coverage areas depicted in the areas south of Pullman or Moscow. Not only is it missing from this slide, but it is also nowhere else in the cast report. What Special Agent Balance omitted from this report are the connections to cell sites located much further to the south at the same time. What?
Crazy.
So between this 448 and 453, just south of Moscow, what Special Agent Balance omitted, I don't know if it's Balance or Kennedy here, chose what data to use and omit. Slide 18. Special Agent Balance has opted to include a coverage area in the slide, but at the same time chose to omit the coverage area seen in slide 13 for Tower 424005. The reason is obvious. It would show the inaccuracy of the coverage areas created by the GARB product, as the phone is not located in the overlapping areas during this time frame. Conveniently missing from Special Agent Balance's work on this case. You guys, he claimed that he went fucking back for the next morning. Goes back in that area that morning. He's able to debunk whatever the fuck he wants to say, Nick Balance, with this one sentence, which is, well, that's interesting. Because Special Agent Balance is wrong on both of his times here. The first time connection to the crime scene cell tower, cell sector is at 10:06 p.m. for 8 seconds. The device does not connect to the cell site cell sector again until 10:40 p.m. for 14 seconds. Can you imagine getting this?
Oh.
Balance is quite the little liar, right? It's fucking crazy. I mean, Jeff, what do you have to say?
Right here.
You want Lori Daybell to go free, you fucking sick bastard? Well, woo, Nikki. And if this would have went to trial, what people like Lori Daybell, yeah, she gets out because of this sick shit.
That's if. Okay.
The state's
This is in our cases.
request this morning on cameras. The court's taking care of that. So, Mr. Wood, your witness will be able to come in and be sworn here shortly. We'll have the jurors brought back. Okay, Balance, there's an exclusionary order in this case, so I'm just going to inquire before you start with testimony whether or not you have watched or viewed any of the trial testimony since it's been live streamed as well as open to the public here in court. Have you seen or observed in any way any of the trial testimony before testifying today?
No, Your Honor, I have not.
Okay, and have you discussed with anyone else their testimony they've provided in trial?
No, Your Honor, I have not.
Okay, thanks. Mr. Wood, then you can go ahead and inquire on direct.
Thank you, Your Honor. And before I inquire, there are several exhibits in this case that have been stipulated to. Mr. Balance will be testifying to a lot of telephone and cellular data. And for purposes of keeping the record clean about what's in evidence, I do have 11 business record affidavits. I believe they all come in by way of stipulation. I don't know how the court wants me to. I can read off the exhibit number and
I'm just showing
the company to which it pertains.
that this guy
In the form of multiple
testified
training
in our
iterations
cases too.
that start with our CAS Basic, which is a 2 to 3 day training in which you would learn kind of from the foundation of what we do and not using
Okay.
any type of.
This one. Shit.
Conduct your direct examination. I'll just ask the witness.
Historically, or where a phone is located now.
Sounds like Joe Schmo.
And have you used those techniques successfully in the past?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of cases have you used this technology in?
So hundreds of cases to include, fugitive investigations, homicide investigations, missing kids, and in general, just cases where it's important to know where individuals.
How do these investigators or other agents contact you?
So as a member of CAST, I do a significant amount of teaching and outreach to different prosecutors' offices and other law enforcement agencies in the area and throughout the United States. So an individual could have met me at one of those trainings and could reach out for assistance on a case, or people can also reach out through our.
Sorry.
We've been talking about cellular data from cell phones and towers. Does CAST use any other type of records other than that provided by cellular providers?
Yes. So as you know now, your phones are not just used to make calls and texts. There's numerous applications, communication applications, maps.
Oh, this is important.
Was your report reviewed by another member of CAST?
Yes. So prior to us submitting a report of looking at all these different records and putting them onto a map, we have another person within our unit that will do a peer review of the report that we're
Where's that at?
So it would remain in a draft format up until that person who's doing the peer review checks over it and makes sure that all the process and methodology that I'm using is accurate. And then at that
That's scary.
point, we would have a final product that would be submitted to whoever was requesting it, in this instance, the prosecutor.
Okay.
We need the records. We need to FOIA Idaho for their records because the cases are done, adjudicated, and they're now filing for appeals. So that's where I'm at. I'm surprised. I'm so shocked that it's not, anyways, I just was for sure that I wouldn't have to file for them, Hey, it's just crazy. Let me scooch.
Jurors can be seated when they get to their chairs. All right, please be seated.
Now, as an agent with the FBI, have you been serving as a cast field asset?
Yes. So I'm a member of what's called the Cellular Analysis Survey Team, or CAST for short. And it's a specialty that utilizes cellular records as a part of investigations, trying to determine where a phone was whenever that has any significance to a criminal investigation.
How long have you been doing that?
I've been certified since October of 2019.
Okay. When you were working for the U.S. Marshals, did you do any work with cellular phones there?
I did. I was assigned to locating fugitives for a significant period of time with my career with Marshal Service.
So, Detective, in your years working as a CAST agent, have you reviewed multiple Google records?
Yes, ma'am.
Verizon records?
Yes, ma'am.
Track phone records?
Yes, ma'am.
And you told us that part of your process is to always look at the certificate of authenticity?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that done here?
Let me put it here. Go back up a little bit.
Or are you getting all the information from Google that you would have with this phone?
So with CAST and the specific unit that I'm assigned to, we're not looking at information that comes out of the device. We're looking at the records that were generated with particular providers. So although we might could get information additionally from the forensic download of a phone, what we're looking at is those records from the providers that are maintained separate from the phone, if that answers your question.
So my question is, would you have more information if you had the phone?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you could track it better per se.
I wouldn't say better. I would just say that you could potentially have more information that would help determine whether the records are consistent with the overall picture of what both the carrier records are showing and what the phone records are showing. So as an example,
he would have context. Okay. Anyway, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like, oh, motherfucker. We don't need this. Okay. We don't. So whatever. But I'm going to share some of this too. And then we're going to get on to this. Okay. Okay. Crazy. Maybe make a, oh shit. Let me make a better picture here. Oh my God. I'm going to do everything but that. Okay. So everybody go sub to Dreadful Penny. She has been tearing it up over there. Okay. Why is the quality so bad? Oh my God. So sorry. This is about me again.
And at this time, I actually was living in San Antonio still, and my oldest daughter was living in Rexburg. She had gotten married already and was.
Okay, I need to set this up a bit because she doesn't actually say, but she is talking about, she's saying at the time, and she's talking about June of 2019, which is just prior to Charles's death. Yep. So just to orient you where we are, because it's going to be important in a minute when you see, this is the narrative, but when you see the reality, you're going to need to keep in mind what she's talking about June of 2019.
Her husband was going to school there.
It pisses me
and
off.
It was summertime and I was on my way up to go visit my daughter, but we were driving and I needed a place to like break up my journey because it's like a 26-hour drive from San Antonio to Rexburg. And
first off, please riddle me why. Okay, I didn't pull this up, but I'm about to pull it up. Hold on. Let me type it in. Okay. Riddle me this. You're going from San Antonio. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Yes. You're going from San Antonio, allegedly, to Rexburg, Idaho. Why would you drive 2 states over to Arizona, where Summer lived, and then go there? Like, instead of that? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. That I'm like, wait, what? Why? Okay, just hold on. Let me get back to it. I might not even let her say it yet. It's possible. Look at that face. Let me go back.
On my way up to go visit my daughter, but we were driving and I needed a place to like break up my journey because it's like a 26-hour drive from San Antonio to Rexburg. And so I contacted Summer and I said, hey, is it okay if I come and stay with you guys overnight while I'm on my way up, to Idaho? She said, sure, we would love to see you, come on over. And I sent another message a few days before we were going to leave and didn't get a response. And so the day before we left, I said, you know, hey, if you guys are busy, it's totally fine. I can stay somewhere else, but I would still really love to see everybody. And we'd love to just come through and like have dinner with you or something like that. And got no response.
Yep.
So that's the story, right? That she's driving through and she's made arrangements that she's going to come and stay. And it's June, it's 2019, it's just before Charles's death. So I'm just going to pause and read these to you. So from Megan, May 8th. Why? What's the date you see there? May 8th, 2017.
Oh, exaggerated.
So we are a full 2 years ahead of 2019, right? Hi, Summy. Thanks for that. I really do appreciate it. The kids and I are going to drive up to Utah in June. Will you guys be around if we stop in for a visit? Summer, good question. We are last minute planners, so I have no idea what we're doing this summer yet. But if you are here, we'd love to see you. Seems to me like Summer's trying to avoid having to make a plan with Megan. Still May 8th, 2017. Yeah. So we're still in 2017. 2 years have not passed. Okay, I'll let you know when we nail down dates. This is Megan. The only reason I know it's June is because that's the only time I don't have kids doing stuff. And Summer says, I know how that goes. So June 9th, 2017. Hey, this is Megan. Hey, finally getting my act together a little. We're leaving on Monday for Utah, so we could stop in Monday night or we could stop on our way home, which will be the last week of June. What do you have going on? Summer says, sorry, Megan, tomorrow is not looking good. So tomorrow's not looking good. Let me know when you're on your way back. Be safe. June 11th, 2017 from Megan sounds good. So Megan's story was, oh, I would still really love to come and drop by and see you guys at some time on the way back, but then she was ghosted. And the reality is, Summer invited her to let me know when you're on your way back. Megan said, sounds good. And then she never heard from her again. That was in 2017. So this all happened in 2017. And it's very, very familiar story. There's some of the details are a little different, but sounds like the same story to me that Megan is claiming happened in 2019. Now, why do you think that Megan would want that story to have happened in 2019?
I got it. Pick me. Oh, to be relevant.
So I went ahead and stayed with another friend in Gilbert and then went and drove up to Rexburg. And it was just like 2 days later that a family member texted me and told me Charles had been killed. Oh my goodness. Again. So it was.
So you could have been in town when that went down.
And I'm really grateful she
wasn't. She could have been harmed.
She could have been harmed.
She could have been harmed.
What happened, you guys? Can you even believe it?
Wow.
That's incredible.
Fucking gross.
She was only 2 years and 2 days away from being there when it happened.
2 years.
So that Megan uses that story to get lots of attention. And oh my goodness, Megan, oh my God, you were there. You could have nearly been murdered, Megan. Right? When it was literally 2 years ago. Right? But like she's already at this point, right? She's already started the smear campaign in the last video a week ago, right? Where she talked all about how Summer has no identity. And then she
could be.
And then she went on to talk about how all the Cox family was out of town when Stacy died and they didn't bother to come home and say all that kind of stuff, right? So her smear campaign is well underway at this point. So now who are people going to believe, right? And what is Summer going to do? Summer doesn't have a platform on YouTube. What's she going to do? How's she going to push back against that?
Right? Call me.
And how is she going to even find the energy to push back against this nasty piece of work cousin of hers who is for some reason,
that's true,
you know, on the day, a week after she had to testify against her sister, why is this cousin of hers out here telling these lies, right?
True. So it's not a long video, but yeah, I already played most of it. I feel bad. But I mean, go check out the work of Dreadful Penny because she's also doing the Lord's work, okay? For real. She's knocking it out of the park. Look, Summer says, thank you for your work on this, Penny. Right? So, yeah, I shared the link on that. Okay. I know we're jumping around. Okay. And I'm so sorry. Like I said, I had a lot of randomness, and I don't quite know how to fit it into anything. Right. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. I have two things planned. Okay. That's how what happened. Okay. So this is another thing from another video that I screen recorded this one. This is that Truth and Transparency, Lana, the one that was talking about Nick Balance. And she said this right in the opening of this other video, right by the one she did about Nick Balance.
It's very rare. This is the Idaho 4 case. The FBI unsigned report says ritualistic killings. Now,
right. Got it.
The FBI unsigned report says ritualistic killings. Now,
they don't like talking about those kind of killings, y'all. That messes up their game, in my opinion. I don't know. Whatever. Found this too. This came on all by itself on my TV, and I was like, oh, it was in the background. Dr. Christine, Lauren, but just this conversation right here, this 5-minute stretch of conversation was so interesting. This was in April of 2026 of this year. Listen to the conversation.
Voices for Dignity is a 501c3 based in Utah, and we help people who have been dehumanized or misrepresented in the media or exploited, oppressed, that kind of thing. We do a lot right now to help empower FLDS women and children, assist with housing stability and food stability, education, and different, fun activities and so on, therapy. But we also help people who have been misrepresented and exploited and dehumanized in the media that are not related to the FLDS. So it's another cause. And right now, with so much cyber mobbing and online rage and media exploitation, I do a lot.
I'm going to have to stop a lot. Okay. Remember when I'm going to do this too. Okay. Remember when there was a secret meeting, a secret Zoom meeting with Trisha, and so I still have to gather all those receipts. I mean, I have them. It would just take me a hot minute to get it all together. But Jolene Lunzer is who, broke that with the screenshots from the secret meeting, and Dr. Christine was there. I just find that so interesting.
Of individual fielding of phone calls and people who are really suffering because of that. The media misrepresentation has really harmed an entire community in Short Creek. But on an individual basis, it's like everybody is at risk right now of doing something wrong and then having their entire life devastated because of a mistake.
Yes.
Well, at least she says something wrong and a mistake. And then this one says, yes.
I feel that.
Right. The thing is, it's public shaming.
All you have to do, Lauren, is fucking apologize.
And public humiliation. People are getting involved and doing this to others. And, the reason they do it is because maybe they're projecting their own rage. I mean, their own harm. Maybe they're attributing finding somebody to get even with because they didn't get justice, or maybe there's something called third-party punishment, which happens in every culture, where even if you don't know somebody, you want to get involved in punishing them because it tells the world that you're one of the good ones. We do this to people, and we publicly humiliate and shame them. It happened to me.
I shared 2 mods. Well, yeah, 2 mods. Didn't know. Well, one I did. The other one I didn't. One's not really a mod over there. I don't know. It's crazy. Another backstab or whatever. Not here for the right reasons, for sure. Or not here for the same reasons. How about that? Ugh.
In the various media pieces, except for you.
Thank you.
You were so kind and sensitive, and it was you're really special.
She sounds like a pothead. I think I misunderstood that too. Indelible Bloom. I think that's whenever she mentioned Moonlight View, which I had to kick out of here. But I'm sure they just create other accounts. So now I don't know who. Now I don't know when she's here. She always liked to talk. But yeah. That's Trisha's mod. Moonlight View for you. Mine used to be Trace on the Case and Detective's Daughter.
And ethical and how you do your media.
I was really honored when you did let me and allow me to interview incredible women that were FLDS. So thank you.
They are wonderful. And one of the many morals of the story here, I developed a
Let's talk about dehumanization.
Their heart for people who've been just publicly shamed for, for obvious reasons. And I just hope that, we can all work together to be more sensitive and stop hating people that are different. Just see people.
I don't hate. I'm not hating. Okay. I'm pissed. Rightfully pissed. Rightfully violated. Okay. Not rightfully, but violated by this woman. So this is me reacting. And the public reacting to the vitriol, to the vileness, to the audacity of this ego.
For the human beings they are, because we're all flawed.
Yeah.
I think another point to make too is this tragedy with Lori and Chad Daybell
Stop talking
really is in essence a story and a tragedy of dehumanization.
Lauren, every time you say stalker, my stalker, my stalker, my fucking stalker, you are saying my zombie, my zombie, my subhuman, my zombie.
John and I have talked a lot about that in past episodes, and we plan to bring it up soon again in our next episodes, that what Chad did and what Lori did was dehumanize people. We called them zombies. They put them in a place where they didn't matter as much as the other people. There were the gatherers, and there was dark, and there was light. Chad's entire system is one of dehumanizing. And I think that in our own lives and what you've learned through your studies and through being Dr. Christine and your life experiences is that we can all dehumanize if we're not careful. We can all say, oh, that FLDS group that's led by Warren Jeffs in prison, or
oh, that Christina, that stalker, and all the other people I tried to wrap into one to make one crime. All her friends.
Oh, those prairie dresses. Or
oh, those dumb hillbillies that I exploit, and can make money off of and use their stories and ingratiate myself into their stories. But then, when it's the cases are all over and there's nothing else to squeeze out of the story, you then become the story. You put yourself into the fucking story. And now I don't even have to survive Lori and Chad. I have to survive you. And Trisha, I have to survive you.
Or, oh, they don't deserve my
unapologetic
money, or any other group that we might marginalize without even realizing it. Maybe the political group that's led by Warren Jeffs in prison, or, oh, those prairie dresses, or, oh, they don't deserve my money, or any other group that we might marginalize without even realizing it.
This is her being like, oh my God, just know she ain't talking about the FLDS, or if she is, she's also including herself, not as FLDS, but as being persecuted, being punished for her own shit that she won't fucking apologize for.
Maybe the political party that we don't agree with, and those politicians in that party.
And it's not whether we agree or disagree. Okay, it's what you did versus how you acted after you did it.
Party. God. Maybe someone whose views we dislike so much, we dehumanize that person that those views are coming from. And I think the lesson that I keep coming back to is Chad and Lori dehumanized, and that's why this tragedy happened. And so to not be like them, we need to all check our biases and acknowledge that we are dehumanizing even when we don't realize it.
Absolutely.
See, she has the ability to reflect. She just refuses to bend the ego, bruise it, in my opinion.
We can't hurt people that we see as warm and wonderful human beings. I mean, dehumanization was the beginning of the Holocaust. It's how, it's how wars are started. It's how humiliation happens. And humiliation is called a nuclear bomb of emotions. It's the most intense human emotion. When you feel dehumanized, you are humiliated. That could result in many tragic outcomes. And so I love your summary here that we all need to be more humanizing and stop stereotyping and labeling and deciding that we're better than some other group, because
I mean, do you get it?
That's what started that whole tragedy.
Right. And it could be, well, Chad and Lori dehumanized others to the point of death and murder and destruction.
You did it after death and destruction and murder.
I think the point of mine and John's podcast is that they were both likely dehumanized at some point in their life too.
So you're saying you were dehumanized some point in your life?
And really that is the cycle. And so we have to all take a part in trying to stop that cycle.
It would be nice if you jumped the fuck on the board. Okay. Been waiting for you to get on the track.
So thank you, Christine, for being here. A surprise guest that nobody even was planning on.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you for doing this podcast.
Yes, and thank you for all that you've taught us. Until next time.
Dr. Christine, she lied to you. Okay. In my opinion, allegedly. Call me.
And next time, everyone, I'll be planning to introduce you to this community so you can see the wonderful.
This community. All right. Anyways. So yeah. I love being lectured to about unconscious conscious bias by Lauren. Not condescending. Absolutely. Lauren and John dehumanized Christina all the way into the courts and on a 9-hour live. And in there, we respond to their own bullshit, right? They responded to their own video, their own 9-hour live. Then they only felt safe, behind Patreon paywalls. Money does not make you safe, ma'am and sir. Yeah, there's no, she don't have a part. Her part is being persecuted. And it's so gross. And so anybody who is kind of cognizant of, or aware of the fallout, with Christina, with us, they kind of sometimes can couple those together, I think. Even though when that happened to Christina and I realized, I found it, that was my safe place to kind of come out and emerge and talk out loud, say, to share my experience with Lauren. My mom happened to jump in. That was not planned at all. At all. I didn't know what she was going to say. I had no idea. And then Lauren struck it down. Just like she said that it was not educational. I found those today. The copyright against me. I know. Hey, Dream Feed Media. I wish Lauren was some dysfunctional random somewhere else, like maybe a dental hygienist in Canada, and we never know she existed, right? I feel bad for those dental patients, though. Kidding, but I get it. Yeah, clickbait is their gravy train, faux show, and it does. We can at least say that Googie brought that to my attention. That we can at least say that Trisha took down, because she took down all the other one, her other videos too, most of them. The one with Grayson, so gross. But anyways, yeah, she's a perpetual victim, aren't they all? Oh, I know. I guess. I don't know if they will listen, but I would. I guess I kind of don't talk like they do. I'm too like ebonics. I don't know. That's just me. But oh my God. Okay. So this is, I guess, what a lot of us ran across today. Shout out to Colby. Hope he's doing okay. Proud of him. So very proud of him. We were going to do this today, but we'll do this sometime this week and moving on. We're going to use the website by subtext, Lauren Matthias Stalking Injunction in 7 acts. So we're going to go over that the next time. But this came up, and what goes up must come down. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to kind of speed it up just a tad. But yeah, I didn't know what to make of this. And I was like, I still haven't processed it all. So just know that. Okay. Ray. Is that Ray?
I'll just show it since I can't get you on the camera. There it is.
So.
But I'll just show it since I can't get you on the camera.
Oh. Let me grab a screenshot. Okay.
There it is. So that's what the camera sees. Okay. Can you still hear me?
Oh shit, let me move myself.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. Well, obviously, I really thought about what I want to say to you for a long time.
So loud.
When I was in the hospital, I felt like I did not say what I needed to say to you at all. And I felt like I let you interview, right? Like we did a back and forth. And I was pretty shocked with what you said. And I cannot wrap my head around how we went from the life we had to where we are now. When I analyze that interview, it almost seems as if you're saying this was God's will. And it almost seems as if you have just created a whole world and where what actually happened in court isn't, you say didn't happen. So you need to understand the level of frustration and confusion that would cause. Can you, from the last conversation we had, and then I came to the trials. So I just want to start there again. I came to the trials. I sat behind you and watched what was being said. I watched.
And then he got dumped on by Lauren. So did my mom about the bullshit.
The evidence. And that changed my perspective.
The state's evidence. You watch the state's evidence.
You're hold on. Okay. So you're telling me there's a whole nother world where what happened. That what you say happened. And that what they put on was fake? What do you mean?
What they put on was their narrative, correct. Were they there? They weren't there, so they don't.
Okay, but I wasn't there when Hitler was alive, but I know that from
I was like, that's the perfect fucking comeback, man. It's the perfect comeback, dude.
Were they there? They weren't there, so they don't.
Okay, but I wasn't there when Hitler was alive, but I know that from historical record and writing. I didn't know I wasn't there when Jesus was there, but there's historical writing and evidence of those things. And now there's geolocation, text messages, your text messages. Do you think all of that was fabricated? Is that where we're at here? Is that what we're at? Like when it comes down to like, because it contradicts what you told me and I had not seen the trials. So what that trial showed me is it contradicts what you told me in our interview. And I gave you the floor and said, go ahead, Lori, just tell me what happened.
Go ahead, Lori.
And the state evidence is mostly your conversations and you and Chad giggling and all the little things that you two said even in person. So do you understand how that doesn't make any sense and how that would leave what you said to be completely dismissed by me? Because I listened to you. So go ahead.
Because it knows that I totally understand what you're saying and where you're coming from. I get it.
No, you don't.
I don't think you understand or can comprehend maybe what
can't comprehend
the types of things that are presented.
Like that's so demeaning right there. Maybe you can't comprehend. Really? No, bitch, you can't comprehend. That's what's going on.
Things can be misconstrued into something totally different meaning. For example, right? They did the whole thing of the Nephi thing in the trial, right? That I said, we're going to be like Nephi, which is like courageous and strong. And they turned that into something completely different and said that I ordered someone to do something with saying, let's be like Nephi.
Well, that's what Nephi did in the first Book of Mormon story.
Okay,
right?
He did a lot of other wonderful things too. There's 4 books of Nephi. So he did a lot of other things. He was courageous. He was strong. He said, I will go, I will do the things the Lord commanded. It was not in order to do anything.
What was the Lord commanding you to do? Do you understand? So let's put that in context. You say, I'm going to go do what the Lord commands us to do. Then Charles is killed in self-defense. I'm sorry, I don't believe that at all. You need to understand that. I just need to make that clear as day. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
You can believe whatever you want to believe. The truth is the truth and stands for eternity. So one day,
does that not worry you? Does that not worry you to think that way when what just happening is anti-biblical?
Yeah,
it's not even biblical. The stuff that you're saying, it goes against the New Testament and what Jesus said.
What exactly have I done against the New Testament that you think?
What?
How about the relationship with Chad, with Charles alive?
Okay.
How about Z's? Z's doesn't mean ZD. Z's means something very specific. You know that didn't happen to Tylie. You know that's not what happened. And so just sit here in a realm and where we have a conversation and you tell me that this is the truth and you swear by that. and you tell me you're not different and you're suffering for these things, you're chosen by God, you're doing exactness of what God told you. Do you understand how that just doesn't, the stuff you're saying and the actions and the stuff that they presented doesn't make any sense to where you could say, yep, right out of the Bible, she really is following Jesus Christ. It actually goes against those things. And if you want me to really get into those details, I will. But I think we both know what I'm talking about. And I'm not trying to be confrontational. You need to understand how that doesn't make any sense. So you need to, if you want to have an opportunity to explain, you don't have to, but if you want to have an opportunity to explain how you think that that makes any sense and all the spiritual stuff that you guys were talking about, it's bananas. It's bananas. That stuff is not in the Bible. So are you guys above the Bible? What is it? What is it with this whole thing that you've usurped the Bible?
From what I can understand, he couldn't get her onto the oh shit. He couldn't get her on, from his phone to share it on the screen.
Why is that funny?
It's funny because
okay. She changed right there. I was like, whoa.
With this whole thing that you've usurped the Bible.
Sorry.
Why is that funny?
It's funny because okay.
I'm just saying. Look at he's like, wow.
I understand where you're coming from, honey. I do. I get it.
Don't call me
I
honey.
understand what our life was to where it's become and all this craziness. Did you ever read Job, all 42 chapters?
Yes.
God.
I read Book of Revelation, Job, and the New Testament. Yes.
We can talk about all that. I would love to go into the details of it. Okay?
What does Job have to do with making decisions? Job didn't make any decisions. He didn't make a decision.
You're not
I'd
Job.
like to tell you what it has to do if you want to hear.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
Okay. In 2017,
Oh my God.
right? I was redeemed by Jesus Christ personally in 2017.
Okay, stop and just, what does that mean? You were redeemed? Because if you believe in Jesus Christ, you are under his blood, he paid for. So what do you mean you were redeemed?
Correct.
What does that mean? What do you mean you were redeemed?
He came personally to redeem me at that point.
So you saw Jesus Christ, who lived and died and paid for the world's sins. You met Jesus.
Oh my God. Are you serious? I'm not mad at you, but oh my God. The audacity of these fucking people, man. Oh my God. It's not tolerable. Sorry, I'm having to relax because if not, I'm gonna blow a gasket. She's not worth it. They're not worth it. They're not worth it. This is just another day, another dollar. That's what this is. So am I surprised by it? Nope. Just don't know how they're gonna navigate that. And I hope that people are aware of this. And I hope people show up and share their feelings. I really do. Because that's some bullshit, man.
Correct.
Thank you for telling me that.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Wow.
And at that time, he told me, will you do this job if you become like Job? Will you do this job if you lose everything? I need you to do something for me.
Okay.
He called me by name, put his hands on my head, and said, I seal you mine. And I need you to do something for me.
I'm gonna retext him.
At that point, so what I can tell you now, where we've got to, without even going into all the details, where we are now is, let me tell you how I feel about it, right?
Okay.
I'm still my same normal self, but let me tell you what the difference is, okay? I know that Jesus Christ, the Savior of this world, knows everything that happened.
Yes.
Okay.
I just want to be like, were you there though? Were you there? And she's like, no, Jesus was there. Right? It's not the right Jesus, lady.
I know that Tylie.
Ever heard of Angel of Light? Okay. No more needs to be said.
knows everything that happened. I know that JJ knows everything that happened. I know that Charles knows everything that happened. I know Tammy knows everything that happened. I know father and mother know.
They know, and father and mother know. Yeah, we all know. Everybody knows.
Everything that happened.
Whose mother? Okay, just slow down. Right, slow down. I can't. I want you to be able to say your piece. Just give me a second because you're going so fast. I can't even.
Okay, I'm sorry. You know I talk about.
No,
I'll
it's
try.
fine.
She's thinking she's talking fast, I guess, and he's just like, no. It's like drinking from a freaking fire hose.
Fine, just slow down and let me finish. At least let me respond to what you're saying. Number one, let's just go back to evidence. The timeline doesn't even make sense.
Your earthly evidence, okay?
You're terrestrial. I mean terrestrial. Okay. No. Telestial. That's earthly. They're terrestrial, which is the plane above. It's where the Church of the Firstborn is.
You're on whatever the state said.
I'm on planet Earth. Yes, I'm here on grounded on Earth.
I agree with you.
Right.
I'm with you
You're
on Earth,
not.
okay? Let me go with you on
I don't
Earth.
know if we're on the same planet when it comes to this was what they're showing.
I didn't laugh the first time. I'm sorry. It's funny. Because he's like, no. Nope. Sorry, I gotta find some humor. in
Yes,
this.
I'm here on grounded on Earth.
I agree with you.
Right.
I'm with you on Earth, okay? Let me go with you on
I
Earth.
don't know if we're on the same planet when it comes to this was what they're showing. Go ahead.
The state in a high-profile case is like the behind the scenes of a movie.
She likes to gloat about this high profile ish, in my opinion. She says that a lot.
It is not real.
What move? Okay, who?
It is real, Lori.
You're telling me they made up everything. So let's just go back to this point because this is where I'm going to get at. You get with Chad, you move up there, you tell me you're coming back in 2 weeks. Do you remember that? I stood outside my work and you said, I'm coming back in 2 weeks. I'll be back. I believe that because you had come back and forth.
Right, we were going to
You never came back. Let's start there. Then I find out you're married to some random guy that I didn't even know existed. And then my siblings are missing. You go to Kauai Beach with your new husband, which I felt like was a slap in my face because that's where our family was. And you took him there. And then on top of all of that, you tell me this is all God's doing and that everything's misconstrued and the media's against you and the police are against you. Do you understand that how that's not like Job? Job was sitting in his house and he got crapped on because God allowed Satan to go crazy. He didn't run.
Okay, stop right there. So let me ask you a possibility.
Ask me a possibility. Let's go ahead.
Let's ask you a possibility
Go ahead.
question. If Jesus asked me if I would be like Job, in the very first chapter of Job, what happens? Lucifer goes to heaven to the council and he says, look at your guy Job down there, right? He's so great. He's never going to do anything against you, whatever. But if I take everything away from him, if I make the whole world go to crap, his whole world go to crap, he's going to turn on him.
But that's not what happened. It was all action.
Let me ask you a question.
It is action.
You didn't get crapped on.
Is it possible? I didn't. Is it possible?
I didn't.
That Lucifer went and had.
She just talked about how she didn't get crapped on. I didn't.
Is it possible? I didn't. Is it possible that Lucifer went and had the same conversation with Father and Jesus about me in 2017?
What? Whoa. Holy shit.
Lucifer went and had the same
Is it possible that Lucifer
conversation with Father? Is it possible that Lucifer went and had the same conversation with Father?
Lucifer went and had the same conversation with Father? Oh, Jesus.
Father and Jesus about me?
Okay. Father and Jesus. Okay. Father and Jesus. Lucifer. So Lucifer, Father, and Jesus walk into a bar.
2017, and then in 2019 I got crapped on just like
Hold on.
just ask you a possibility question. Is it
Right.
even
But that's not what the conversations that you were having with others off of the evidence that they showed too. So let me explain this to you. That's
let
what.
me ask if the Bible could repeat itself now in the last days. Is that
Could it repeat itself?
Is it possible?
What?
Anything. Okay, so if you want to go to what's possible, God can do anything. So that's not even.
Man wrote Bible. That's all I'm saying. I don't know who. I wasn't there. You know, I'm not like Lori. I was not there for everything. Admittedly, thankfully, it's like you don't kill people still. Okay.
The conversation that we need to have.
Not to
Okay. I don't like the way you're pandering to me. We're having a conversation. I don't like it.
Get it,
Listen,
girl.
God
Get
can
him,
do
boy.
anything.
Get
That's
her,
what we
boy.
agree on. The actions behind what was done was not godly because they showed the trails. You need to understand, I don't care what the prosecutor was saying or what the evidence. I looked at what was being said in your group.
By ye fruits is what he's saying.
That's what contradicts everything. You need to understand, I'm not going off of my feelings. I'm not going off of all this other stuff.
Sure.
Your conversations with Chad and Alex and your Melanies and all the people you were in on this group with, the stuff you guys were saying is so not connected to the Bible that it doesn't make sense that you think Job got crapped on by Satan, but everything that happened with Charles, Tylie, JJ, and Tammy was action. Who shot at Tammy?
Yeah.
Who all of a sudden Tylie just kills JJ and kills herself. Do you think that I buy that?
Right.
I don't like that you think that I would buy that. I'm not going to eat bullshit off of plates. I don't believe that for a second. Tylie would never do that. So why would you think that we would have a conversation? I sat there and listened to you trying to see, is there even an ounce of truth in what you're saying? It all had action behind it. It didn't happen to you. A tornado didn't come through and give you boils and have you suffering. You ran back to Kauai with Chad.
Okay, was that the last place where we were ever happy?
Why does that matter? You took him. Fuck that dude. You took him to where we were happy. Does that not feel fucked up? Does that not make that makes no sense that you take a new dude to where our family was? Is that not crazy to you?
Right,
it was my place to go for my peace. It's the last
your piece. Okay, so your piece cost hundreds of people theirs for a long, long time, affected their lives forever because you wanted peace. Why wouldn't you have ever told me if this was the truth? Why didn't you tell me this? Where was that?
It's incriminating. I did want to.
So what stopped you? What stopped you from telling me that story?
When all of the chaos went crazy.
What chaos? You were the chaos was created. It wasn't just, oh my gosh, it blew up. You didn't tell me anything.
She is the chaos. She is the chaos. She's the chaos right now. Oh, sorry, I just got a break. Got a break. Thank y'all for the difficult research memberships. Hawkeyes and Shelly. Thank you so much. I think, let me make sure I have the name right. Yes, Shelly. It's intense, man. Like I just sat there and was just like, I didn't even respond, react. Yeah, I didn't do nothing. I just sat there and just watched it and listened. And then I was like, I gotta take a nap. Here we are.
So if that was true, and you would have said something, and then you would have told the police the same thing, does that not make sense? Why would you be in jail if you didn't do anything wrong? Does that make any sense to you? This isn't martyr. This isn't prophet suffering. Do you not? I don't know how much more to say that doesn't add up.
I understand how you feel, and that's how Job's friends felt
You
at
don't.
the time.
No, Job's friends were said you must have done something wrong.
Wrong. You must have done something wrong. You wouldn't be in this position.
No.
That isn't necessarily true. It isn't necessarily.
So you're telling me that a movie was created just to throw you in this position for what? What is the ultimate goal here?
Okay, I'll tell you what it is. Jesus and Father, when they came to me in 2017 and said, okay, I am going to use you as an instrument in my hands to divide my church.
Well, mission accomplished. I would just say you divided all kinds of things. Actually you didn't. Actually brought a lot of us together and brought so much sight, so much awareness about about so many things just with your church, just with the church. Other than that, the only thing I knew about LDS was compassion, pass it along. Okay. It used to come on during my cartoons when I was a kid and I didn't know what the hell that was. Only time I ever heard Mormon, I was like, okay, it was a very nice commercial, but I learned those two things. There's the image and then there's the reality, and reality does not always show that compassion. You get a lot of gaslighting, a lot of weaponized concern, cognitive dissonance from people, a lot of denial, saying they have nothing to do with our church. Well, bullshit. I mean, I'm not over here up the Catholic Church's ass. So, I mean, they belong. Chad was serving a calling, lady. It's weird. It's been a weird, effed up experience. But it ain't about me.
What church? What church?
Okay. Their church.
Who's their church? You're part of the LDS church and you thought that was the true church. What church are you referring to?
I love it.
I'm talking about all of Christianity. Okay?
Okay.
He was
What about before Christianity?
going to use me and Chad as an instrument in his hand.
So just exchanged he for Lucifer and or the Dark Lord. And that's probably exactly what you did. That's what it looks like. He used you and Chad, the devil, Satan, the Dark Lord, whatever, dark powers, powers that be, used you and Chad as an instrument in his hands.
To divide his church, and he called it the Great
Check.
Divide. And he said it's going
I'm gonna have to look that up. The Great Divide. Check.
to look really bad.
Neapolitan. Just kidding.
It's going to look really
It doesn't just look bad though. You understand that? It's not looking bad.
It does look bad. I understand
It's reality, Lori.
it looks bad. I understand what you think. I understand what you're saying.
No, you
I get
don't.
it
Okay.
100%.
So you're telling me
telling you
that's not
She don't need to be using percentages. Okay.
true. None of it's true is what you're telling me. Nothing that happened, nothing that police have said or found is real. And it's all fabricated because
I'm not
Satan.
saying that. I'm saying
Well,
they
then that doesn't make
twisted
any
and turned
sense.
real facts. They twisted and turned real facts. They
What you did? You're saying that they twisted and turned real facts. That's what you did.
had experts come on and lie that they paid off. They had
Well, I mean, that could be true. Okay, Nick Balance. I don't know.
all kinds of things go on that
Okay,
happened.
so experts got paid off, and it was it was like a behind the scenes movie where it was all to make sure you're convicted because that was your mission to have to suffer like dope.
Oh my God! Right? Nailed it.
Okay, let me tell you something else. On the day of the second trial, okay, on the second trial in Arizona,
Arizona, Charles
I love this part. Love this part. I remember this.
or Brandon? Which one?
on the second trial, Brandon,
Okay, Brandon.
at the
Go
end
ahead.
of the second trial,
Yes.
on the day
Fourth
of
murder.
the verdict, you know, I'd been sick during that whole entire trial, really sick, like physically sick.
Get her.
And that morning, I woke up feeling amazing, like great, like really feeling good, like not just not sick, but like, you know, when you've been sick for a long time,
Wait, but
you suddenly feel
in the text you said you were translated.
Boom, 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 bing bong. But in the text, you said you were translated.
So I'm confused. Are you translated or not? Because how would you get sick if you're translated?
Oh my
You understand
God.
how none of that makes any sense to me? Like,
translation is a long process. So if you
Oh my God! She comes back with translation is a long process. Oh my God! Oh my God!
like a vampire? Is this a real thing? Like, do you understand that this doesn't, the logic you put out doesn't even have a backup story? Like, there's no like, it's like
Wow.
Chad changing his mind about Alex's multiple lives. Like, it doesn't ever have a basis because it's being said as you go.
It's moving the goalpost constantly.
So anyway,
Yes.
continue your story. Go ahead.
not true.
Go ahead.
Colby, you're so great, man. Compared to the last time, and he did great last time, I think. And I think, you know, she dropped a lot of lies that they fuck with your head because you're still going to process those. You're still going to factor those in. What was said? Why would she say that? Da, 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 da. It's a constant process.
Okay. I will tell you that that day, that the second verdict, when I was there,
She done went from ushering in the second coming to ushering in the second verdict.
I've had several visits from the Savior since the 2017 visit,
Okay.
right? All through jail.
No.
In every jail, he's come and given me all kinds of things. He came and gave
Toothpaste.
me Zephaniah chapter 3, said that refers to me. He came to me and said Revelations 12, the woman, that refers to me. He came to me and said Luke 18.
Revelations 12 refers to you.
Correct. He told me all the reasons why. Then he came and said that Luke 18, the widow and the unjust judge in the city, referred
Huh. The widow and the unjust judge in the city.
To me. And then on that day, I think it was June 12th, that day of the verdict, he was standing there holding my hand.
Oh, listen.
And I felt amazing. I felt so good.
Okay.
Even though the jury was there.
Which hand was he holding? This is significant in my opinion because the left-hand path is the path of Lucifer. Okay. The right-hand path is the path of God.
Saying guilty, 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 guilty all the way, right? Now he was holding my hand. No one could see him, but he was holding my left hand. And he said,
right there.
Is finished. And I understood that to mean that it will change now. I don't have to be persecuted for this anymore. That it is changing, that the tides are changing,
Okay.
that something new is going to happen.
So why did everybody then die? If it's okay, so here's what I hear. It's about you, and God's made it about you, and everything that happened so far has been about you, and Chad has made it about himself and you. And then everybody who just died is just a byproduct of the missions that you two have that's so important. And you guys were talking about the project in the backyard.
Just gonna cut this up, right? I don't want to be using all his stuff, but here, just to refresh.
Settled action upon our oaths, do find the defendant, Lori Daybell, as to the crime of count 1, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder occurring on or about October 2nd, 2019, as follows. Guilty. Signed, 4-person. Are these your true verdicts? So say you one and all?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right. On the court's own motion, I'll ask the clerk to poll the jury.
Juror number 1, is this your true verdict? Yes. Juror number 2, is this your true verdict? Yes. Juror number 4, is this your true verdict? Yes. Juror number 5, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 6, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 8, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 9, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 11, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 12, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 13, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 14, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 15, is this your true verdict?
Yes. They all said yes.
All right. Members of the jury, I'm going to excuse you at this.
Yeah. Okay. Just to remind ourselves. Okay. Let me back this up a little bit.
That to mean that it will change now. I don't have to be persecuted for this anymore. That
Persecuted.
it is changing, that the tides are changing,
Okay.
that something new is going to happen.
So why did everybody then die? If it's okay, so here's what I hear. It's about you, and God's made it about you, and everything that happened so far has been about you, and Chad has made it about himself and you. And then everybody who just died is just a byproduct of.
No, Lori is serving 7 lifetimes in prison for Stanley. I've noticed that you've asked a couple questions now, and I'm sorry I didn't stop earlier. No, Lori was my aunt. She was married to my Uncle Charles, and they adopted my nephew, JJ. And Tylie was you'd call it step cousin. Okay. I wasn't related to her by blood, but anyway, there's 4, possibly 5 victims within the span of less than 6 months in 2019. July 11th, which was yesterday, was when my uncle was murdered in 2019, followed by Tylie, 16-year-old daughter of Lori. She was murdered either September 8th or 9th of 2019. Then my 7-year-old nephew, Joshua JJ Vallow, he was murdered either on September 22nd or 23rd of 2019, 15 days after his sister. And then they took a shot at Lori's nephew-in-law and missed. And this is the guilty verdict I just showed, was that one. It was for the only surviving victim of Lori and Chad and their cult, Brandon. And then they successfully murdered Tammy Daybell, which was Lori cheated on my Uncle Charles with Chad Daybell. Chad Daybell's on death row in Idaho with Koberger. Well, are they still? I mean, now that Koberger, the plea took that away, right? Anyways, for killing Tammy Daybell, Chad's wife of 30 years. So, and then there's Joe Ryan, who was found deceased in his apartment on April 3rd, 2018 in advanced decompose. Wait, I forget how to say that. Advanced, is it decomposed? What's the other word? I can't think of the words. Condition? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I went blank. But she's not been charged and or convicted in his death that a lot of us believe was an early murder. One of the first ones, right? It was the first one, allegedly. And that would be Tylie's dad. Anyways, we don't know. But that one happened in 2018. So we always include Joe because we don't know. But we suspect. But I hope that answers some of your questions. I'm not good at recapping for sure. But this is Lori's son. This is my cousin, Colby. So Lori murdered Lori and her people. But only her and Chad have been convicted of crimes. Her brother died suspiciously around the same time all the murders happened, or right after the murders happened. But this is Colby, her only surviving child. He's the firstborn. And so Lori killed his sister, his dad, and his brother. And every now and then he entertains talking to her, trying to get the truth, but he definitely is creating boundaries. It's for healing for him. I mean, it offers it to me too. And hopefully the rest of my family and our friends and people who were affected by this. Not people like Trisha, though. God dang. That burns my ass. Anyways, but so I'm just proud of him. And it sucks to always be strong. Okay, strong. You are sure exhausted. I know what that means.
The missions that you two have, it's so important. And you guys were talking about the project in the backyard, about making sure.
Did Tom Harrison have anything to do with that project and the missions and stuff?
That Alex can confirm. This was the phone call that the backyard was taking care of the backyard project, and we got to have some guarantees that the backyard project. That shit broke my heart because I knew what it meant. What project? What you're working on? You were in jail, and that doesn't even. Come on, the kids were in the backyard. You're telling me that wasn't part of it?
No.
Oh hell no! Come on.
What we were talking about was an eternal blueprint, this life.
For the backyard, eternal blueprint for the backyard. That doesn't even make any sense.
Right?
It's because I was in there watching Ultimate Pools or whatever. So I used that.
So you wanted to swim in a pool in the backyard where the kids were buried?
No. That's what I'm saying. You're misconstruing that whole conversation.
How?
No point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Right?
Yeah, I did listen to it.
I know, but we have to get it out verbatim. You don't understand. We were talking about, when Chad and I have conversations, we're talking about eternal things. We're usually talking about the spirit world, and we're usually not talking about things on earth.
Yeah, that's not what. Okay, so this was the conversation.
I understand it. That it's over everybody's head. I get it. But
Oh my
they're trying to
God.
okay, let me give you this one analogy, okay? You love
No.
Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
You used to play Skyrim. Okay. Or Call
Okay.
of Duty or whatever these.
I do know from the oversharing that happens over there with Trisha and Stacy that Stacy loves to play Skyrim. So I'm sure, I wonder if Stacy's coming back just to talk about and exploit even though Colby said stop.
Games are right. Let me ask you a question.
I have to go. Sorry, thought I paused it. I have to go grab something to drink, so I'll be right back. Okay.
And Jace were having a
Hold the fort
conversation
down.
on text about doing all kinds of things to people. But you have these names for these guys that are on your game, right? We're going to go get this person. We're going to do this. We're going to bury him. We're going to do that. Whatever you say for your game. But you're only talking about a video game. You're not talking about real life. Okay? Then you're accused of a crime. Okay. And then the police get your phone and they're like, this guy, Colby, and this guy, Jace, they're planning on doing all these things to this guy named Wilbur or whatever. Okay. And it totally gets misconstrued.
Right.
Okay. What I'm telling you is when Chad and I are having conversations, we are talking about eternal things going on in the spirit world. And that's our code. It doesn't have anything to do with what's going on.
I can dissect that in 30 seconds. So hold on.
Okay.
So let me just rebuttal to that. Number one, if the FBI came.
Sorry, I'm back. Whew. Smells good in there. What did I miss?
To me and said, you're going to bury Wilbur and then say you shot a raccoon and it's in the same exact geolocation that Alex was visiting, that shit is a crime. That's not the same thing. If I'm saying I'm going to fucking blow a shout in Skyrim or do this thing, it doesn't have evidence behind it that actually correlates with a crime.
Bing bong.
That, you understand what I'm saying? It's not possible to have a conversation about a video game and say, I'm going to play Spider-Man 2 later and we're going to go beat up Harry, who is Venom. And then you find out that somebody named Harry got beat up. That you understand that the point is that doesn't apply here. That doesn't apply here.
That very particular conversation that you're talking about with Ultimate Pools, okay?
Ultimate Pools is heavenly.
Yeah.
We were not referring to anything. I heard you got a
Oh, what was she saying in the background? I wonder if they're sponsoring Lori. Ultimate Pools.
in a pool. It was about this life. You're not referring to anything I heard you got in a pool. It was about this life as a gym.
Okay, but it was a guarantee, and you wanted to get out.
On this mission, which is difficult, right?
Research, difficult research.
That's what the blueprint was. That was the whole entire thing. So it's totally misconstrued.
I'm gonna have to like run that through my filters.
To bring it down to earth and say we were talking about the here and now.
Okay,
We were talking
but
about
Tylie,
but the evidence correlated with what you and Chad were talking about.
Tylie and JJ's bodies were in that backyard, and the conversation's context was about the backyard. So what in the world do you?
I understand how you're correlating that.
And you buried, they just got buried back there like fucking garbage. Do you understand that? Like, that was garbage. They just got thrown back there. That was the most heartbreaking thing. I can't even tell you how that feels to find that out. After you and I were talking on the phone, I was talking to you days before, and the last thing you said to me before we stopped talking was about Abraham and Isaac. I said, I'm not calling you back because why would you even say that? And then I found out why. And then I talked to you years later, and that's what you tell me. And it never added up. You understand that the truth adds up over time.
I'm looking for a comment because I happened to see it earlier, and I don't remember where, but somebody said, and I don't know if there's any relevance to this, okay, but somebody said something along the lines of Chad wanting to be buried by Tammy now or something. And I'm like, what? I don't know.
Even if it's heavenly, it adds up.
It will add up.
Okay, at the end of all things, what do you think is going to happen at the end? What's the end? What's the end of this story then? So I'm going to find out that you and Chad were right. That's what you're standing on.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm worried.
Understand it in its entirety, and you are going to understand it. When Jesus comes, he will make it known to all mankind. He will make it known to all mankind. And you
Zombies is going to be out there. You're the person you say you are. Alex is a good person. Are we really?
It kind of, if they're good people, it kind of matches the rest of the shit I'm seeing in the world with the inversion. Okay. If I'm being honest, I'm like, okay, since when? Since when is shitting on people because you're elite? You know, we know you hate us, right? Well, we don't really care for you either. But they're just making it more known now. I'm telling you, it tracks with not them being good, but them thinking they're being good and actually not, right?
Really?
Yes, because you're trying to look at everything from an earthly perspective, and if you do that, you will never understand. And if you look at things from an eternal perspective, then you will start to understand. And
Okay.
that's the whole thing.
But do you understand? Let's go back to who Jesus is. Jesus Christ comes to earth and makes it conceptualized for humans because it wouldn't work if it was all above our pay grades. So if Jesus did not make things make sense and speak in parables and try to preach the actual gospel to other people and everything was above our heads, then none of this would work. Nobody could have salvation because it would be too complex. Do you understand that the stuff you guys have said in your text, the phone calls, the recordings with Melanie and Ian, all that stuff, that's not heavenly.
Nope. And neither is the evidence of all that.
Because it doesn't correlate with your Bible. That's what God gave you as the blueprint so you understand how to check things. That was not it. Maybe if you wanted to, you could go back and say, well, this actually is this thing, like you just said. Oh, well, I'm the woman in Revelations. But that's like me.
Like right here. Didn't they think the world was going to end too? Surprise, it didn't. I had to change my thinking on this because it did end for the victims. And that's Trisha going to be celebrating that shit. Like, and I was taking part in that. You know, like that's so fucking sick. When you think about it, when you change your perspective, you know, a little bit, you're like, whoa. Oh,
saying, well, I'm actually the person in Isaiah 15. That's me. It's fitting your narrative rather than actually being truth. And that's what bothers me because I read my Bible and it doesn't make sense to what you said.
A lot. And let me tell you.
Somebody says, Kathy White says, wonder what the appellate court would think. Right?
I wouldn't have believed that if Jesus hadn't told it to me.
Okay. Could you be being deceived? Do you think you could be deceived?
Yeah.
Do you not believe that at all?
I have seen it in person, Colby. You know.
It doesn't mean, oh my God, just like they say not to entertain divining rods or, you know, that part, the dead. Well, that they can appear, they can be everything that you think that they are, or you know what I mean, like as a loved one. Oh my God.
Know this.
No, I don't know this. That's the point. It doesn't make sense. You told me that. That doesn't mean I know that.
Why would I who would make that up?
You don't even want me to start down the rabbit hole of who would make up a concept like that. I don't know. Anybody can make that up.
No one is more shocked than the person he appears to that he appeared to you. Like you're like, who am I? No one is more shocked than me that he appeared to me and told me I was in Revelation.
It says we have 20 seconds. Hold on, we have 20 seconds. Are you going to call back for another conversation?
Yes, I will try to call right back. It'll take a few minutes.
That's fine.
Reload and everything.
That's fine. Okay.
Reload. Okay. I mean, that's real. So then let's listen to it.
It's going to cut off. So we'll just save the rest of the conversation then.
If you want to get out your Bible, we can go over some verses.
No, thank you. I know enough. I've read it privately plenty. She's going to call back. This cannot be real life. This cannot be real life, dude.
She's insufferable. Dude, I'm so
I don't
sorry.
even know what to say.
I'm so
I don't even
sorry.
know. I mean, literally, it's like it's going to be the same thing from last time. It's such a lie. It's so ridiculous. Like, I'm not taking it like I did last time. Sorry, I'm cussing, but it's just going to come out. I'm not planning. I didn't write anything down.
Good.
I don't care. Whatever comes out, comes out. I'm saying it because I need to let it out off my chest. I've never
Do it.
never talked to her this way. Only in my literal dreams when I'm asleep have I thought to say my piece and tell her how much I don't believe her. So whatever. Oh man.
Oh my God.
It's so, oh my gosh. It's like you just want to scream it into their head. We're not going to go Bible verse for Bible verse. Are you out of your mind? We're not going verse for verse. That's not how that works.
Splitting hairs.
That's so crazy.
But that's what she uses to justify the killings. That's how she is able to, I guess, live with herself. I don't know. Live with herself, stay dissociated, distance herself. Good for thee, but not for me.
You can fit the Bible to fit your narrative and have a false Jesus and everything. That's how that works. You can easily say, well, I am the person in Job. That's what they're talking about, me.
I think this has happened since the beginning of freaking time. I mean, right? And that's why the devil always becomes a scapegoat or whatever. Devil made me do it. That bullshit.
That's me. No, it's not.
Sorry, I'm processing too.
It's not you. You're going to sit here and tell me this is all, I mean, yeah, whatever. The conversation's just going where it's going, just so you guys know. I knew this would happen if we did it live. She didn't want it edited, so there you go.
Yeah,
you don't have to have an edit. You want it raw? You can have it. Whatever.
Do it, lady. Right?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know.
All this.
I think that's what cuts it at the very end is the attorneys probably. I think that's what Colby said.
Stuff that she said, all the stuff that she said is just going to be the same. But I'm going to say that. I'm going to say it. It just shows you it doesn't matter what you said. And I really, really had to let the burden go a long time ago. I had to let it go.
Yeah. Yeah, tell her she don't go here. Okay.
Whatever. I've never looked at her and said it. So even though you guys can't see her, it's better for me to be able to look her. I'm looking her in the face and saying what I need to say.
Go ahead. Proud of you.
Gosh, man.
You're doing it.
It just doesn't make any sense.
But it's on his terms, you know, like that's the difference. But I mean, I do believe that she starts talking about her grandbabies or whatever, and I'm just like, don't you even fucking say that. Like, you don't get to say, don't talk about no damn kids, lady. You don't even get to talk about them.
Not going to get through, man. And that's the thing. You can't save someone who chooses this life. You can't.
Mom, if you're listening out there, just know, please, and I've been needing to tell you, just don't want to. I don't want to tell you. If you are listening, just know that despite my my attempts to speak loudly about not consenting to allowing Trisha with web sleuths to exploit our family members yet again this year for her end of the world celebration, in my opinion, fundraiser, raising funds in our family's names for her stupid ass web sleuths website on July 22nd, 2026. This will be the sixth one in a row. And she's like, tell Krisha to email me. No, why? So you can say I'm stalking you? No, I'm good. I'm good. Good. So we're coming up with like a 24-hour combat, you know, where certain creators are going to get together and on their own, get together and on their own, basically do like an anti, you know, like talk out about it, against it, and then talk about what Chad and Lori's beliefs did, you know, like that kind of stuff. I guess, what do you call that? The cautionary tale part. I don't know. It's still loose, but I really think that, you know, if you are listening, I think that just one outspoken statement from you and Larry would have a lot of weight. Colby too. But I text him and he has not texted me back. Or I text Kelsey. She hasn't texted me back. Nobody's texted me back yet. So I'm going to text again. I'm just kind of throwing it out there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel like, you know, I brought this into our lives because I messed with web sleuths. You know, like I entertained that. And I'm sorry. I wish they came with warning labels. Like, hey, we're going to fuck you up later. Get ready for it. We're going to be, and we're smile the whole time we're doing it. It's aggravating. And this is the same woman that is allegedly it appears to be, which there's going to be a court date August 12th, 2026 in Texas. I'd love to go. For Beth B, the exploitation, the appearance of exploitation of Janet Wolford, Beth B. This is Trisha, sleuths with a purpose. Anyways, yeah, been tracking it. She's been bragging about doing this fundraiser. And while I can't control her saying our family's names, I can't, I can't, just like the next person can't. We can't control and make people do anything. That's what they do. They are control freaks, in my opinion. And this is something that I've learned that Trisha has allegedly done to many other family members along the way. I mean, some bad shit, like some really bad shit. And so we're just the latest, as far as I'm aware. Bees in the chat. Anyways. Okay. All right. Let me get back to business.
Can't save him. She's calling back. Okay. It's back on.
Okay. I need a minute.
Okay.
People are listening, so I need to be more quiet. Can you still hear me?
Yeah. Like I said, if it is what it is, if you're not going to answer it, I said respectfully.
People are listening. So I wonder if that's why at the very end she has to get off the phone.
You can move on from it, whatever. I just need you to understand. It doesn't, you don't understand what it, like, you've been saying that and you said it when we had our first conversation.
She should have told Chad his kids need to die first. I don't know. I didn't hear that part.
About, I will learn one day. One day I'll understand. And I'm telling you right now, your salvation is at stake. Do you not believe that?
Mm-hmm.
You think you're cleared. Like, what if you saw and you pass? Because I was in the hospital thinking the same thing. If I pass, I got to meet Jesus. I have to see him. That's my thing. Nobody else can stop it, say me nothing. You're not afraid of the moment of looking at Jesus
and death
and saying, I did all of this in your name. And what does he say to people that say that? Depart from me, for I never knew you. That does not make fear in your heart. You think you're clear because it worries me, and it had. And I realize I can't make you choose anything. You're telling me what you think happened. I'm telling you it's anti-biblical.
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense. It does not add. And that is what God says, to measure people by their fruit.
They measure. They measure.
And Chad is the same exact way.
I understand what you're saying exactly. I get it.
So what do you get? What do you understand what I'm saying?
I get it from an earthly perspective. It looks bad.
Oh my God.
I understand.
Why is it earthly perspective?
And I don't understand. I understand why everyone in the world thinks what they think. What the media's put out about me. I understand why they think what they think.
So then what is the truth? If you can say the truth without whatever way you say it, what would be the truth?
I did not have to reveal the truth.
You don't know the truth if it hit her in the ass.
Reveal the truth to everyone very, very soon.
What does soon mean to you?
Why did you get so damn vicious right there? It reminds me of like when I clench my teeth together, and I mean business. Okay. That's what it sounded like.
What would be the truth?
I did not have to reveal the truth because God is going to reveal the truth to everyone very, very soon.
What
the NWO?
Soon mean to you?
Well, what does soon mean to him? It's his timing. When he wants to do it, he will do it. But he has assured me personally that he is going to do it, and that I will be amazed at the way he does it. I will be amazed.
You're not afraid of what consequences there could be.
No.
Has anybody asked you that? Has anybody close asked you if you're worried about what could happen in the afterlife? Have you weighed the consequences of that?
I am perfectly 100%. Okay? 100%. happy
ain't
with
crazy.
my relationship with Jesus Christ, and I will face him today, in 5 minutes, in 1 minute, in 100 years, whenever that day is.
You'll be dead.
Whenever that day is, I am happy to look him in the eye, tell him how much I love him, and how grateful I am for this opportunity. He put me in this prison. He's turning Sauls into Pauls in these
Oh,
prisons.
Jesus.
He needed people to go into the prisons.
Okay. Do you understand that the relationship you have with Chad, you told me Charles was cheating, but you were cheating, Lori?
Yes.
That's cheating.
No, I didn't.
They had proof that you did. You
Yes.
think that they made that up to make a narrative more about you?
Sorry, I was answering my mom. Yes. Yes, this is what she's doing. Yes. Right. Yeah. Right. I know. It's appalling. Even though you can ask everybody, I have done this since October 26th. Our family tragedy, our pain is not your content. I've said it out loud. I've said it out loud, proud. Just trying not to involve you guys, like it shouldn't go that far. Once no means no. No means no. It's a complete sentence. And what she's doing now is basically giving the appearance that she's got like Colby's grace, or, because she'll go and drop a super chat and he's not paying attention, so it looks, she's just gross, man. Gross. And I cannot believe that there are people that do this shit. But these people know what the hell we've been through. They know the murders, the da-da-da. And I've actually done a lot of research that links them together. This might be the cult, Mom, in my opinion, maybe allegedly. Lauren might, you know what I'm saying? Network. I'll just say network because it's probably nicer. I don't know. But it seems to be people that in these high profile cases that spin the narrative on the outside of this, outside of the story, or you know what I mean, reporting on the story. Hold on, I'm trying to find something real quick so I can show you the hypocrisy that we're dealing with. It's fucking crazy. That's an understatement. So these people know what we've been through, and they're like, we know, and we're just gonna stick it to you anyways. It's really gross, disheartening, concerning. Okay, I can't find it right this second, but I will. Incoming. Okay.
Or there's the receipts. There's a difference.
I'm sorry.
You guys were going to hotels together. What were you doing? They're praying on a bed together. You think I believe that?
Right.
You're two adults. It's inappropriate relationship. Sending dancing videos from the house that had this thing upstairs where you told me Charles cheated.
Charles sent those to make it
Oh,
look like
hell
I was
no.
having an affair. Charles sent those from
You're gonna
my
blame
computer
him.
in the bedroom.
Of course.
I'm not blaming him. I'm saying at the time
That is blaming.
he had gotten caught. He got caught cheating, so he was trying to make it look even because he didn't want to lose everything in the divorce. That's all it was.
What divorce?
I did not send those videos. Charles came into the dance room and videoed me one night, which was really odd.
He didn't want to lose anything in the what divorce? The imaginary heavenly divorce. Because you didn't do the divorce. You wouldn't get served. You were ducking and dodging. Everybody knows. I keep thinking of things like, also, Mom, right somewhere before we started talking about Colby, we talked about Nick Balance. I don't know how to explain that, so let me get that together. But just some possible misdeeds, possible corruption. I don't know. In the Koberger case, as far as cast pings and location data, I don't know. It caught my attention, and I was like, oh God, this is more of a nightmare. I think is the after part.
He said, I'm just going to video you. He came into my dance room, which I go in by myself every night and dance after KJ would go to bed and get
So she admits it. Okay.
my workout done. And then I would go shower, take a bath, and get ready and go to bed. So one night he came up and he said, I just want to video you so I can have these on my phone. Okay.
Nick Balance, the FBI cast team. I had the videos up earlier. Hold on, I have them in my history. So I'm just going to show you a few instances from this channel who's reading a report from a person named Cy Ray. It says breaking explosive, Nick Balance and FBI exposed by Cy Ray's expert report. So one thing we haven't gotten that I'm aware of, I have not seen any kind of FOIA, reports or body cam footage or anything that was showed in the trials. I've not seen any of that in our case from Idaho. So it's like everybody just settled knowing that Arizona released what they released, and that's what we have. But there really is the rest of it, which is in Idaho. Okay, so let me type this in real quick. I can kind of show you what's being said in the Koberger case from the Cy Ray's expert report. I don't know what to make of it, but oh my gosh. Let me get to the top here. Sorry, y'all. Oh my God. I just want to go to the top. Okay, so what I did was I put in balance, which they spell it this way, and usually in these report, on a transcript, because they get every word wrong. It's spelled with 2 L's, but anyways, so this is all the times that she mentions Nick Balance. So I'm gonna kind of jump around.
We all knew it. Nick Balance and the FBI exposed by Cy Ray's expert report. I went over the first 23 pages of the report. Well, 22 pages of the report at the end of my Tyler Robinson preliminary hearing coverage this morning. So I will clip that last portion of it. I think it's like 45 minutes where I talk about this. And so to save my voice, I'm going to start here on chapter on page 23. But I will cut that and I'll make records that resulted in errored conclusions that plagued probable cause statements. It clearly shows the misrepresentation of AT&T data by Special Agent Balance early in the investigation. Given Agent Balance expertise in this field, it is unbelievable he would not have realized the errors being made. This, of course, is even more concerning after many of the misrepresentations on this slide made it into the final report after a peer review by an...
So this is a peer review by an equally qualified expert in this field, Special Agent. It is my opinion that this level of misrepresentation is not an oversight or mistake. But like right here, she mentions Lori too.
You want Lori Daybell to go free, you fucking sick bastard? Well, woo, Nikki.
Here's another
one. And if this would have went to trial, what, people like Lori Daybell, yeah, she gets out.
He testified in all of the trials, Chad, Lori, and in Arizona, both. I think both. It's just something that I was like, oh no, if this is true, FBI, Nick Balance, corruption in the Koberger case is what's being alleged by this, not the person reading it, but the person that wrote this report. FBI exposed by Cy Ray, whoever the hell Cy Ray is. Okay. Expert report, Nick Balance. And I mean, it's something to be fucking worried about, if you ask me.
In the event there is any doubt to Special Agent Balance's claims in his report, the timing report would be the best way to show accuracy. Conversely, if Special Agent Balance's report is full of errors, the timing report would immediately highlight those errors. It is because of these reasons I do believe Mr. Culber's timing report was obtained in this investigation in the same manner the other 9 timing reports were. I do believe the timing report was in stark contrast to Special Agent Balance's report. But more importantly, the false timeline of events purported in search warrant affidavits. Timeline events.
False.
Subject matter expert as what is seen by Special Agent Nick Balance in his final cast report. This report was peer reviewed by Special Agent Kennedy. The idea that both qualified and competent subject matter experts missed these errors is inconceivable. There is substantial justification to believe the errors noted in this report are intentional and a complete manipulation of data to support false statements needed to establish probable cause to obtain search warrants against Mr. Kohlberger, and that is the much larger issue.
And hold on. And I heard her mention that the FBI was also in charge of the IGG, which ain't good.
Woo! Woo!
Okay, I'm pasting this link.
Oh
in
my
the
God.
chat. Okay.
So I just read 51 pages for you guys. Now I have no voice. Now I'm going to leave. Nick Balance wasn't the only one. Special Agent Kennedy wasn't the only one.
Corrupt.
All these motherfuckers did this shit.
Oh, whoa.
I got Eric Warner still filling requests of mine and yanking and omitting material on my fucking FOIA request. You can't do that. It's a violation.
Oh, they do though. They redact a lot of things. But anyway, so just something to think about. I don't know if we have experts that review, his Nick Balances or anybody's work in our case in Idaho and or Arizona. I don't know how this works, right? So, just saying. And the thing about Kohlberger is he pled to not having any what do you call that? Oh my gosh. No appeals. But I mean, if you brought a shitty investigation to begin with, then it shouldn't make that contract, you know what I mean? It should void it. Anyways, I don't know. I'm not legal, nothing. I'm just here trying to make sense of some crazy shit. And it's wild. But so I put this link in the chat if you want to go, if she reads the whole damn report. And then I don't really know anybody else who's reading this, so I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I really don't know. Yeah, I've heard that too. Normal Idaho mom. I've heard that too. Anyways, right. It's some crazy stuff. And I never want to just bring it to attention, but I feel like I'd rather get on, like, be proactive instead of reactive. I don't like the react. I don't like being on the receiving end of, oh my God, I'd rather kind of know what to ask and know it's even a possibility. I didn't even know they did these kind of reports. I don't know if they're just doing it in the Kohlberger report. I don't know if this person wrote a book. I have no idea any further than right now. So I'm just kind of in the beginning stages of figuring and kind of learning these things about, how Nick Balance testified in Kohlberger and in all of Vallow Daybell. And I thought maybe he was connected to Delphi, but I'm not sure. But that wouldn't surprise me either. Anyways. But you can't be corrupt. You can't. I mean, just please don't. Especially with all these freaking convicts getting, their convictions overturned. It's wild.
He sent those to Chad and then said, I sent them to Chad. I did not send them to Chad. I was embarrassed and actually called and talked to Chad and Tammy and apologized because I did not send them.
Oh, thank you, Andy.
Okay? That's part of that story. Charles.
So you never cheated on Charles with Chad. You guys were just buddies until you decided to get married one day?
Yes, we were very good friends until then. We did.
What about Tammy? You never cheated. Neither one of you ever.
I have an email ready to go. Okay. I guess I needed to talk to mom. Have you and Kay contacted the school and superintendent yet? Go above her. And that's what I was thinking. Go above her and block the fundraiser. Then she can't claim she is giving them money. No, but she started to change her tune. Of course, I can't trust that either, but I don't think that JJ School would go any further with it. I don't think that they would want to be any part of that. We'll do a fundraiser, whatever. Just, I don't want the woman handling money. And I mean, she's so awesome. And I say awesome. It's been amazing in not a good way to see Trisha be like, and no money comes through our hands. Like, she's so trying to reassure her audience that, okay, just, I know there's things out there that are being said and implied, that she rejects, she denies, that she used anybody, what do you call that? Dry begging and all that stuff. That was just Sue Pruitt. But for her to reassure her audience that and guarantee that no money goes through their hands is a big, big giveaway. You're like, oh my God, lady, you're telling on yourself without telling on yourself. But yeah, and thank you for that. Also, you can pursue civil litigation for causes of action such as fraud, unjust enrichment, or the unauthorized use of a name or likeness for commercial or or personal gain if they use pics. Bing bong. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Don't F with the village. Okay. Yes, I know. I have it written. I just need to send it. I mean, it's just, yeah, stating what happened, but very, very formal, and I mean, she's the CEO or whatever, Margaret Trevelyan. She was really nice and kind. And she, what happened though, y'all, is, whenever I went on Web Sleuths for, I think it was last year. Yeah. That's when she had Margaret Trevelyan on, actually. And, the crazy thing, one of the crazy things is that whenever I went on, I did it to where I multi-streamed. So it went to my channel too. So I have actually, and it recorded the entire damn day, like the whole 11-hour, almost 12-hour live stream. So even though she removed those from, hold on, I'm looking it up at the same time. Even though she moved them behind, she hid them. I still have it, right here, 9 hours, 16 minutes, 31 seconds, July 22nd, 2025. And so she can't copyright me for that. Bing bong. The hell?
Yeah. So, but yeah, as of now,
Somebody crying? Copy. Do
Wow.
not copy. Yeah.
And we
And so
still
it was
have-
turned over to the Tanners, Sandra and Daryl Tanner. They've done a tremendous amount of research, and that's what me and Joe have been digging into. This pisses me off, man.
And we're getting fewer all the time. Along with lots of I got it, and we're taking off the coastal cruises.
Thank you for writing.
Okay.
Oh, look at this. Oh, this is so adorable.
All right.
Coastal cruising.
Welcome to Coastal Crew Change.
Welcome to Coastal Cruising.
I'm your bus driver, JJ.
I'm the bus driver, Pepper.
And I'm also your MC.
I'm also if all side air. Yeah.
I was like, what? Thanks for riding Coastal.
And I can I could coastal cruising. Coastal cruising. I want you all singer all.
So, pull it away from your mouth a little. Oh shit! I didn't mean to do that. God dang it! I get button happy.
Megan says, okay, according to my scientific calculations, the number is 7.
Okay.
So she thinks-
Anyways, I thought this was the one with Margaret Trevelyan, but it's not. But I did screen record it a long time ago. Anyways, so see, I don't trust the 404. They are the most. All these people, that's what they do. They weaponize all this stuff, and that's what they do. And so like her putting it, unlisted where we can't see it. And then somebody right now, whom I won't name, but somebody right now, I just got a notification that they emailed Trisha for the second time a direct plea being made from a Vallow family member. And they blind copy me on to the email so that I don't have to, get accused of stalking or some other fucking crime that they make up.
Got out and goes, oh my God, I hit the guy. And I said, don't worry, it's okay. He masturbated. And he's like, what? And I'm like, it's okay. Well, the guy gets up and like runs away. So he was fine. So I go upstairs, and this was a radio station. We were very active with the record reps, and comics came into town. They always came on our show, and it's the afternoon show. And I walk in, and I got my head down, and I went, oh my God, Alan. I said, we caught this guy masturbating, and Nick just hit him with his car, and he just bounced off. And I look up, and there's Bobcat Goldthwait.
Oh no.
And he looks at me, and he goes, I can't remember exactly what he said. It was something like, welcome to Salt Lake, or that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
But you people in Salt Lake are so effing weird, is what he said.
I don't remember them. I don't want to be rude. I remember this one though. Are you sure?
Yep. Oops.
Oh, what the fuck are they doing?
Oh God. Oh, I miss heels. Yeah, she's the one that forced. I literally started this live stream because I needed to get her off my back. I've lost some weight. I don't even recognize myself.
Well, it's because you're taking weight loss drugs.
Dang.
You told me that.
So yeah, that was that was so weird. Oh
What?
my gosh, that was the weirdest.
I don't
damn
know
thing.
what the hell I don't know what I stumbled into. And of course I take you there with me. So sorry about that. But yeah, she has SF Investigate. She has Mike King. She has that guy who runs Webster's site now from Authrum.
This is
mine.
You've written several, and they're all fantastic. Is it Wolves in Sheep's Clothing?
This guy worked on the set for The Big Bang Theory. Okay, Phrase. I think his name is Mike too.
Yes, it just came out about
Guide.
10 days ago. It was released
Right.
just recently.
In fact, I'm going to share the screen here, and I'm going to put the link in chat. You guys, you got to get this book. Oh my gosh.
Don't.
I mean, it is. Well, first of all, it's by one of our favorite people. Mike
Yeah.
King. And Mike, tell us about the book. Tell us what it involved.
Wolves in Sheep Clothing sounds like, M. Russell Ballard and Tim Ballard getting slave stealers. Okay. We're the slaves. Spoiler alert. Of what has to happen first in order to importance clear talk to Mama and Larry, and then once agreed upon, send the school that email. Or I mean, I can pass the one over to them that I already did, that I just haven't sent yet, and then they can do whatever or tell me to do whatever. Let's get back to Brad Pitt. Right, push back from the gambling slot machine, TG. Right. Yeah, supporting children, right? Talking about, you heard it. I heard it too. Ew, it's so cringe. It's cringe, and I'm sorry. I can't help it. I really hope Authrum is proud of these videos, right? They seem to be. They really do seem to be. Fair use banner. I'll put it in the description box. And I mean, they can't, because that's what I'm saying. See right here, Lamisa? This is recorded onto my channel because I dual streamed it whenever I appeared, and it just copied the whole damn thing for some reason. I don't know why. This is whenever she kept texting me, her and Stacy kept saying, oh my God, turn off your Nightbot. And I was like, what? I cannot do things while I'm live. Don't ask me to do something technical while I'm live, because I can't think unless somebody takes over and talks. I can't sit there and be engaged in a conversation and have my brain trying to process other things at the same time. Just not my strength. And so, but thinking back on that, I'm like, why? If she wasn't monetized at this time, why would my Nightbot from my chat going to my channel, just because I appeared on her show, I multi-streamed it. So it's just as much mine as it is hers. They both were live at the same time. Okay. I don't think that she can copyright strike me because it occurred at the same time. You know? I don't know. Who knows? Who effing knows? And this was, I think Lori's sentencing was July 25th. Koberger was July 23rd. This was July 22nd. So I did this and then I like had to drive to Arizona the whole damn way.
See, my doodad keeps popping up. The chat keeps popping, going up, and then I'll read it real. Yes.
Sorry, I'm looking.
And a factor that would not apply here is the defendant.
I'm looking to see because it seems like Margaret Trevelyan would have been at the very beginning.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. It's the end of the world again. Oh my gosh. Here we go again. We're going to blow up and go straight to hell, everybody. Get ready.
Again, it took me a little bit to realize, but it was the end of the world for Tylie, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and likely Joe. Okay.
He's going to, Mike is going to be at CrimeCon and we'll see him there. But yeah, he gave us such a sweet quote in Wolves in Sheep's Clothing. And I'm having trouble with getting my
brain together, your frontal lobe. Anyways, sorry, she brought it up. I didn't know much about frontal lobes until Trisha started accusing all of us of having a missing frontal lobe. So, you know, you live and you learn. Anyways, yeah, I'm probably gonna end it on that. I don't feel like we'll have enough, you know, I'm kind of tired processing, and I need to go get on the horn about addressing Trisha and passing that info off to my mom. Because, I mean, they're not going to tolerate the shit, period, in the story. And they make it loud and clear. You know, people are still like, yeah, but she's just Charles's niece, JJ's. She's just Kay's daughter. She's a nothing burger. And I'm like, maybe whatever. I agree. But compared to my parent, you don't want them. I was trying to save you. I was trying to fucking save you. Thank you, the Tampa A. Thank you for becoming a new member. And Faye, oh my God, you made it rain in here, lady. 10, 20, 40 difficult research memberships. I'm going to have to amp up my game. Okay. Thank you so much, Shelly. And thank you again, Sparky Pilot. I appreciate you guys. It's not required, but I'm trying to stop. Okay. But it's appreciated. And the show must go on. Yeah. Thank y'all for having my back. And I mean, really appreciate it. It really sucks. I really wish that Lauren and Trisha would just have apologized and it would be over. It would be done. I do believe, you know, we don't have to forgive, but I mean, if somebody was genuinely apologetic for doing the things that have been done against not only us, but the victims themselves who aren't here to speak up, you know, that's the worst part. That's the like, you can F with me all day, every day, but don't F with my family, man. Like, don't, especially the dead who are not here to fend for themselves here.
And let me just tell you,
because this is whenever Dream Feed Media, I think, let me slow it way down. This is when Trisha found out that somebody wrote an obituary for, or you know, like a tribute to Beth B, aka Janet Wolford. This is how she reacted. So listen to what she's saying.
if you do happen to come, I learned a little bit more looking at my phone when I went to get my coffee. If you do come across an obituary from Beth B, that's not her name. It was Janet Wolford. If you do come across that in your travels, that is not what she wanted. That is exactly what she did not want. Somebody put it up that didn't know her, made it up, got information off of, you know, Ancestry or one of those places, and put it together. She did not want an obituary. Those were her expressed wishes. I know. I was with her all the time. And so for them to do that is not only just obnoxious, but it's weird. It's weird that somebody thought they had the right to put up an obituary in some random memorial site about a woman they didn't know.
Right?
And
You don't
if
know
they
our
knew her, they
family.
would know that's not what she wanted.
Well, ours
So
didn't
it's
either.
just disgusting. If you come across it, please don't give it any air. Don't say anything. Don't go in their chats. Don't go anywhere, because I did find out that
Oh shit!
that
Not
yes, it is
responding.
on YouTube somewhere. So please don't give it any attention. Okay. And again, I normally don't. So I just found out about this right before I came on. A friend called and he told me, and I didn't know where he got it. He just got it from some memorial site, and then found out that it is on YouTube somewhere. So just please don't pay any attention, and especially don't. God, isn't that? Would you ever do that? Would you ever put up an obituary about someone you didn't know?
Well, no,
Yeah.
it's morbid and disrespectful to the
Yes.
family and her friends.
Would you ever do a fundraiser even though the family was like, no, we do not consent, and you didn't know them?
So
absolutely, and it says things
not without their permission.
Yeah,
I would get their permission. Talk to them
Right,
first. Kind of
right.
like we feel people should have
Yes.
done in a certain case with a memorial site. That they should have talked to the family before they were making
Correct.
plans for one.
All the family.
Exactly, exactly. Well, the problem is she didn't have any family. I was it, and her neighbors.
Hey, guess what? My family did. All of us. Okay. Not me.
and
Me
myself,
don't count.
we were the people that were
Family.
closest to her. Yeah, we were her family, exactly. So that's what she
She
called us.
called you her daughter.
Yeah, she did. She did. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird to me. It's like what a weirdo freak to do something like whoever did it. I don't even know who did it. I don't know who
You're
did
a
it.
weirdo freak.
So
right.
Jesse Robinson says, I've heard of people doing it while
Oh,
people were
yeah.
still alive. Oh my God, that's even
Messed up.
worse. That's
Yeah.
really
Oh,
sick.
yeah.
So
So sick.
anyway,
That's so.
They're talking about themselves. Okay. that's how that goes. Yeah, talking about themselves. All right. So Indy Cindy sent me this, and this is a short that she made. Go give Indy Cindy a follow, y'all. She does some really good, thorough, deep. Like I've saw more pictures of John when he was growing up from his yearbook and blah blah blah. Just looking to see where the possible are there any embellishments, things like that.
A wedding ceremony took place in the military government chapel in Berlin, Germany on February 21st, 1948, between John Arrington from Salt Lake City, Utah, and Mary Payne from London, England. The rites were officiated by Chaplain Kirkpatrick. John, a civilian serving in the Army, met Mary over a year prior when she was part of the British Control Commission as a civilian. This summary was provided by the Deseret News, a Salt Lake City newspaper, on March 24th, 1948, under the headline, Salt Lake Man Weds in Germany.
So the photos were AI based. I found, oh, damn. Olap.
Hello, everyone. It's Lauren and John.
I want to play a game.
Oh my God. It messed up. Ah. Whoa. Whew. Okay, never mind. I like all the other ones that Indy Cindy did too, like with the buffalo. And here's Olap's. And let me make my way back up. I'm not very suave with the shorts. Here we go. We'll leave on this, okay? You're here. I don't know which one it was. Trisha Winning, big on the slots, web slots. It's either this one or this one. Buffalo Stampede. I don't know.
Web slots, sleuthing where the donations go.
Fund the adventure.
Web slots, web slots.
You're greeted to the pole.
Donors paid your rent.
You ran straight for the flow.
Web slots, web slots.
What a pathetic disgrace.
They bought you a ticket.
Playing slots for
Good night.
days. Slots for days. They passed the hat, scraped up cash for your trip. You swore you'd show up and give people their fix. But the moment you landed, the truth came to light. You ditched every panel to go gamble all night.
Oh, web slots.
You greeted to the cold.
Don't ask, paid your rent.
You ran straight for the flow.
Web slots.
What a pathetic disgrace.
They bought you a ticket.
You played slots for days. 70 years old, still begging for dough. Then you ghost the whole reason they sent you, though. You had one fucking job, show up and represent. Instead, you're blowing their money on slots, every penny spent.
Every dollar they gave, money they sacrificed, went straight in the machine while you rolled the dice. Didn't go to work, you went on a gambling trip. A leech in a casino, you greedy bitch. Web slots.
Hope it was worth a lie.
Web slots.
Enjoy your donuts, cry.
Web slots.
This is your legacy now.
A broke ass gambling addict.
Who let her donuts down?
That's nasty.
Basically, what happens at web slots stays in the court record. Whoa, oh, Lauren. Okay, got to do this one. All right, we're leaving on this one. All right, justice for Tylie, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe. Love always wins. You guys are proof. I'm probably gonna have to strike these out later, but for now, we'll listen to them.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please. Fold them in and give me reasons.
No bites or harm.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please. Fold them in and give me reasons. Game intuition played the cards of fate to start. And after he's been hooked up with the woman, something's
Oh, I think it repeated. All right. Bye, y'all.